That's my horrible version of the Price is Right theme. I don't know if that show still goes on. I don't watch TV, and if it does go on, I don't know if it's just, they got the same theme. But back in the day, it was just a really annoying game show. Piece of music. Let me just see if it's actually showing up on my channel. Looks like it is in fact showing up. Huge movie fanatic Nate reporting. Grumble, grumble, grumble. I had plans to get out on the water today. It ended up being a windy day, and if you know anything about being on the water, unless you're on a sailboat, which I didn't have plans to be on a sailboat, windy days aren't necessarily a good thing. So I had plans to get out on the water today, too windy, so I do have to get out of here at 4 p.m. Central Time, which gives us 3 lovely hours to just shoot the shit or whatever. So I wonder if someone out there who didn't want the show to be canceled or skipped this week, if they created the windy weather. It's very possible that one of the listeners created the wind in my vicinity in hopes that I'd do what I'm doing, which is decided to do the show for up to 3 hours. So welcome. I'm not seeing anyone here yet, which is understandable, since for the days leading up to today, I basically said that today a show wouldn't happen today. Let me open the chat box. I didn't do a video, but I did a post on the community a couple hours ago letting people know this was going to happen. Got a couple thumbs up, so I know at least 2 people. Oh, we've got Matthew Heagerty here. If you want to jump on a call, let me know and I'll turn on my stuff. He says, yo, get that sail on the boat. Yeah, you might have to if this is the way the weather's going to keep being. It's funny when someone types something in the chat before I open the box, it's all goofy. So I should open the box sooner, but welcome. Matt says, okay, I can jump on call, give him a minute. So I'll turn on my stuff. I did send Matt a text on Skype letting him know it's basically his week to talk anything within reason on a call. So that's where we stand. Weather's been kind of goofy this year, but that's to be expected in the times we're living in, along with other things. So I do have I suppose I could put this up right now. I do have this really cool drone picture that someone put up on the worldwide internet of the our drive-in, which is currently in limbo. No one, it hasn't opened yet, and no one knows if it's going to open. A lot of people are assuming the worst, that it's been sold or the land has been sold. But if you look at this picture, which I'm going to share very quickly or very soon here, you'll see that the grass looks like it's been freshly mowed. So it does make you wonder, well, if they sold the land and if they don't have any plans to open, why are they having the grass mowed? Here's our drive-in, a very cool recent. If anyone who's not driving listening to this, check out the screen. Please don't look at the screen if you're driving. but that is our dear drive-in theater, which has been open since which has been there since 1966. And as you can see on the top of the screen there, we've got new construction for some probably much needed office building space bullshit. So, that before this year, I think was just pretty much just vacant land. And obviously the fact that something's going up right next to the drive-in makes us wonder, okay, so is the drive-in land also going to be used for some bullshit? But as you can possibly see there, if you're not driving, and anyone who wanted to look at the screen, you can see that, the grass has been mowed, so it kind of sends a different message, like, why would you mow the grass if you had plans to sell the land? So, yeah, you also might be able to see that frontage road there on screen left is the way, is the road you take to get to the drive-in. And that is currently all kind of ripped up and under construction as well, the little frontage road. So, we don't know if that's why the drive-in is temporarily closed. So, no one can get any answers from the owner. It's just a big kind of a what the hell's going on situation. So since the last show, this photo has just been put online, which is probably relatively recent, really cool drone photo. So I thought, well, might as well share this drone photo and kind of dedicate this show to the drive-in, which is currently in limbo. We don't know what's going on with it. So I'm actually really grateful. There's actually 2 more angles, but maybe I can share those in upcoming weeks, as I didn't have time to. Hello? Hello?
What's up?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. How the levels?
I'm gonna open up that thing. You can talk.
Okay, I'm talking. The level's good. Our level's good. I am talking. Levels. Talking normal. Or trying to talk normal. A little out of it. Gotta get my caffeine. Got all these tabs open on my computer.
Yeah, you might as well just start talking about whatever, and I can check the levels while you talk about whatever. So
okay.
Yeah.
I can't. What?
Oh, I was just gonna.
Well, how's my level compared to your level?
Let's see here.
Are we level?
I gotta talk. Yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because your levels are fine. So if my levels are equal to yours, relatively, I would imagine probably, good enough.
Yeah, I would say so. Go ahead.
I guess FYI, hopefully my internet's okay, but my internet's, I guess even from last time, my internet's been cutting out for like a couple seconds every 5-10 minutes. I mean, it hasn't done it in a couple days, but just FYI. Hopefully I can. You there?
No, your internet cut out.
Oh, did it? Or are you joking? Now you're gonna. Oh man! I mean, it hasn't been cut out in the past couple of days, so I'm hoping that at least today, it holds on strong. But that, I guess the last Top Gun when we talked, it was cutting out. But that was a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah, well, what's really cool about the ones that we do that aren't live is we can cut out the bad bits.
Yeah, and I guess you can't cut out the bad bits right after the fact on the live stream, right? Because you said it takes away the chat.
Yeah, I've edited one live stream and it took away the chat. So
Wow, unbelievable. Yeah, I remember trying to read if there was a workaround for that, if that was just a bug. Or...
well, that's kind of the charm of a live show anyway. To have the f ups included. It's a way for people to experience what happened live, later on. So it's kind of the charm to a live show, I guess. We could look at it that way.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you get to see all that goes into the broadcast. Because I guess on radio show back in the day, professional quote unquote radio shows. I mean, I'm sure every now and again, I'm sure every now and again there were hiccups, but for the most part, I mean, weren't they a lot more consistent? I mean, they had a whole team of people, working and making a ton of making a ton of money to make sure this radio program gets to you on your radio. But I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really grow up with radio. I did grow up with it, but it wasn't as predominant as like someone who's like 80 years old now. I mean, they probably would know a lot better because they listen to the radio a lot more.
Yeah, in your whole lifetime and even mine, I mean, I would imagine, they got the live radio thing pretty much down, but it would have been really interesting to hear what a screw-up would have been like in the 30s or 40s or something on live radio.
Yeah, like I'm sure every now and again, like the mic levels were a little. I'm relatively speaking, compared to us poor YouTubers, where it's like, oh, I can't get the mic level right. Oh, my internet cut out. I mean, the million problems that you hear in like a lot of live streams. I don't remember hearing it. Like I did listen to radio shows, even in my late teens and early 20s, and I don't remember that like ever happening. Like I just can't recall. Maybe once, but I don't know. It's like every day you could hear them fine. It was like people could call in, and obviously they monitor the people that call in, so they could, if someone's phone connection. I guess that was the most things that would happen. You hear someone's phone cut out, and it was because that person's phone cut out. It wasn't because anything on their end. So, but I don't know. Maybe it's just been so long. Maybe I'm not seeing it with clear picture, because it's like, maybe there were a lot more difficulties than I remember, technical, but I don't know. It's whatever.
Have you seen the screen? There's a really cool drone shot of our drive-in, which is currently in limbo. We don't know what's going on. You can see the construction on the top of the screen next door.
Oh, next door. Oh, wow. Okay. Who got the drone shot? I don't think it was you, was it?
It wasn't. It sure as shit wasn't me. I don't do drones. Yeah, but it's really a cool. No. It's really a cool image. There's two other angles. I didn't have time today to download and prepare for the show. I can maybe do it moving forward. But yeah, I mean, if the drive-in is doomed, it's really kind of cool to have these aerial photos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is true. Yeah, it's a shame. That's a shame. I mean, I was there. I was in Philadelphia, where I used to live, and the theater that I used to go to, that I could walk to in South Philly. I drove by it yesterday, and it was closed. It was boarded up. So I'm assuming, I haven't looked online, but I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe they're renovating it. That could be possible. I haven't looked into it, but just knowing the state of the world, I'm gonna assume that it's closed. But they could be renovating. I doubt it, though. It looked like it was just closed. Because if they're renovating, why would it be all boarded up? And yeah, I don't know.
Is that cool one, which was the cheaper one, or was that closed?
No, the cheaper. No, that was when I was. This was when I was. Because I was in Philadelphia yesterday, and I haven't lived there for years. And this was the theater that I used to go to when I lived in Philadelphia. When I used to live in Philly. The city.
Yeah, right, correct. I was just confusing it with that one cool theater you said was cheaper, but I think that even closed.
Oh, that one's been demolished now for, I don't even know. Like, that one's not even standing anymore. That one's a leveled parking lot now. So
Oh, I see.
Like they demolished that one. Yeah, I mean that one was boarded up for a while as well, and I guess eventually they got around to just demolishing the whole building, which is great. I mean, it's just I love seeing perfectly standing buildings just get demolished in the name of whatever, because it's just too much stuff. You know, it just I don't know. It just I get why they do it, but it's just like it's just like. It's just I don't know. Your brain's like really like a perfectly standing building, and I'm living in like a shed that I built, but it's like and you see something like you know what I mean? It just seems so wasteful on a grand scale. Like I get the economics of it and all that extra bullshit, but you're just like really, you know, like you couldn't. I don't know. It just bothers me, you know.
Well,
does that stuff ever bother you? Like seeing like buildings that like yeah maybe you need some maintenance, but it's like. That I mean that one was operating like so obviously it was operating a theater so it wasn't like it was sitting there for like 20 years not being operated. It was so I don't know. Does that stuff bother you from like a waste perspective and like manpower to create like just all the manpower to create that and then it's just yep gone demolish it.
yeah,
It just bothers me.
yeah, same with me as well. You know, if you've got a building that functions and still is functional, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can understand. You know, something that's so old and it's you know,
Yeah, it's rotted out. Exactly. It's more money to more. It's like more time and money. It doesn't make. Yeah, it's so rotted to the core that it doesn't make sense to to fix it up because it's so bad. But then a part of me is like, well, why? You know, then a part of me is like, well, how did people let it get that bad? Because it's like what unless the building was not built right, and which is sometimes the case, but. I mean, you know, you're supposed to maintain a building just like you maintain your car and everything else. And if you don't maintain it, you just let it. You don't fix certain things that are starting to rot, and you know, you don't maintain things. Then guess what? They rot out, and you know, I understand eventually on a long enough timeline, like it's kind of like a losing battle. But I don't know. So that's another gripe. Like even if the building rots out, it's like well, it was sitting there for 30 years, or maybe it was occupied, but it wasn't maintained at all. And you see that all the time, and that's another thing that can kind of drive you nuts too. Because you're like, really, you have that nice house or building, and it's just. But then again, you know, maintaining it's a matter of resources. So I also understand too. We're like, so it's like a double-edged sword. It costs a lot of money to maintain something, and if you can't afford it, then I guess you just live in it until it is not. You know, you can't live in it anymore because it's not even safe. I don't know. It sucks.
yeah, that's the word of the year or couple of years or maybe the decade or life moving forward. It sucks.
I was in Philly yesterday because I went to Six Flags in New Jersey with my mom and brother for the day, and we stopped in Philly to get something to eat. So that's why I was there, and I am still sore and beat up from. The park was pretty empty. It was like we didn't really wait, and I didn't wait in line really like for any roller coaster. Like I waited maybe a couple minutes, 5 minutes at most, 10 minutes, but most of the time it was basically just show up, wait like one train. Sometimes we'd show up to the roller coaster, just hop on because it was like, you know, it was yeah. It's like it's a good thing. It's like yeah, it was fun for us, but it's like. Not a good sign of the times, you know.
So the being on the rides beats you and bruises you up.
Well, this park has some of the most intense rides probably in the world. Like at least a couple of them. Like maybe not like I'm not saying one ride is the most intense in the world, but I'm saying like it has a collection of roller coasters that are just really intense. I mean, it has King Dakar, which is actually it has the tallest roller coaster in the world. So, I mean, there's one right off the bat. But yeah, it was a mixture of like walking around all day and riding these like really intense roller coasters, like over like a couple times because I could just go back on them. And then also I rode a couple rides that were pretty rough, like bang you around and that weren't just intense, but they were just really rough and they would just bang you around. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm feeling it today. My shoulder kind of hurts. Well, my legs aren't that sore, like, you know, but it's just like, oh man, like my back hurts, my shoulder hurts.
So,
like I rode one wooden roller coaster. It's called El Toro, and it's like a really intense wooden roller coaster. And I don't know. I don't think you said you ride rides, but like a wooden roller coaster, you can usually see it too. They're a lot rougher than a steel roller coaster, as you can probably imagine. Like like a cart going over basically a bunch of wood. I mean, they put a steel thing over the wood, but it's like you're riding on wood. I mean, maybe when it's new, it's kind of smooth, depending on how they build it. But imagine over the years, just you're going like 50, 60 miles an hour over like old wood. It's just bend. It's just And this ride had derailed actually last year. I rode it. Yeah, I rode it before it derailed. And it was a rough ride, but it didn't hurt me. It was just like, it's kind of rough, but dude, this year, like they retracked part of it, and they had to do a bunch of stuff to quote unquote make it safer. And whatever they did, like it hurt me more than probably any roller coaster. Like there were parts where it's just I don't know what we were hitting. Like I was like, oh, my spine is getting like, oh god, you know what I mean? Like it just felt like imagine going like 60, 70 miles an hour. Like, which is what you were going. Like, that thing goes, like, 60, 70 miles an hour, like, most of, like, like, most of the time. So it's like there were parts where it just felt like you're going 60 miles an hour on a train with, like, no suspension at all. You're just on a track. And I don't know, you're just hitting, like, I don't know. I don't know what they did. It's just, like, there were parts where you would just slam into, and it just felt like you were hitting a pothole sitting on a train or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with no suspension. It was just like, oh, God,
It sounds like fun.
It hurt.
Go drive and pay to get hurt and then go home.
Well, you try to avoid those rides, but the ride wasn't like that last year, so it was kind of a new, like, well, this is okay. And then like the other rides, they were intense, kind of expecting that. But there is this one ride called I know you probably don't even care about roller coasters. I'm probably boring the chat because it's. I know it's.
Well, I don't think there's anyone listening, so go ahead.
I know they're gonna listen back. Like I don't care. Dude.
Well, it's anything goes. Anything goes week within reason.
Yeah. Well, this is good because it's just like part of the consumerism lifestyle and just amusement parks. This is good. YouTube likes this stuff, right? This is fine. This is okay speech, right? This is
okay speech. Go ahead.
Yeah. What?
I said, continue with you sounded like
anything that like that distracts you that doesn't take away from, whatever them is good. Is like, that's good. Yeah. Talk about that. Just more distractions. What's a bigger distraction than riding these crazy roller coasters, Jeez. There's no other thought on your mind when you're riding it. For the most part. But anyway, there's one ride called Superman where like you're kind of as you can imagine, like they put you in a flying position, like you sit down on the ride like normal, and then it just lifts up, so you're in a flying position, like it lifts the cart up against the track, so you're just face down now, and like you go down this hill, and then you go down the drop, and then you immediately go into a loop, but the loop is like, imagine the loop like you're lying down, you're going up into the loop. So you're lying down, facing down, and you're going up into the loop. So you go up, you kind of go up, and then you go into the loop, and then you go down, like you're going face first down to the bottom. So then when you get to the bottom, you're actually laying on your back looking up. Right? So, when you sit in the back of that ride, mainly in the back because it's like a really long train, roller coaster train. So that when you get in the back, when you get to the bottom of that loop, like because the front of the train is now like starting to pull it kind of pulls the back faster when it gets to the bottom, like it just whoop, like the momentum, whatever. So anyway, long story short, when you get to the bottom of that loop and you go up you get to the bottom of it and then you go up into the end of the loop, like it's like a weirdly, they call it a pretzel loop because it's not like a circle loop. It kind of looks like more like a pretzel. But anyway, when you get to the bottom, you start to go up the other side of the loop, like you go up it. It is the most like I'm. This is where I was like, dude, I might be getting too old for this shit. Like, I wrote it when I was like 17. I was like, oh yeah, that was pretty intense. That was crazy. I was like, wow. I wrote it like that's what I remember when I was like 17 writing it, and like I'm 33 now, and I wrote it like I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be intense. I'm waiting for it. But like, do you know you kind of know how G forces work?
Yes, I do.
So it's like when you get to that bottom of that loop and it starts to go up again. Like when you hit the bottom, you start to transition up into the next loop. You're feeling like normally on a normal roller coaster, you feel those G forces like they kind of just go down into your legs, which is like really an easier way to deal with those things. It's not as crazy. But when you're like laying on your back and you're just feeling them like throughout your whole body, like it and especially this roller coaster, like I guess how fast it was going, and it was like I was not ready for it. I was like, I couldn't breathe. It's like about 2 seconds of feeling it, and it's like it's pretty, you know, and you're like on your back, and all those forces are just crushing. Now they're just going into your, like just going in, I guess your whole body, like in the sense that it's kind of pushing down on more your because before it's like I guess the forces they feel like they're going down into your legs, like that's where I feel it mainly, like when I'm sitting down, just in your legs. Now it's like you feel it in your organs or something. Because it's like I couldn't breathe. I was like, you know, I literally couldn't breathe for a second. I just was not ready for that at all. And I was like, Jesus, I couldn't breathe for a second.
Oh my God!
Then I did it 3 times. So the second time, I was like, I gotta like brace for. I don't know. I gotta take a breath. I gotta get ready. Like I gotta brace for it. Like it was a little better. Like I could sort of breathe. But it was still like crazy. I did it 3 times, and every time it was just like I learned to like know how to ride it, but I don't know. It's like I don't know if I'm just getting too old, but I don't know. I think the first time it just caught me off guard. Like I just didn't realize how crazy it was going to be. Like we're just high G forces like on your back like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess it's like I was thinking about it. It's this. It would be. I guess it's like similar G forces if you just get like they have another ride where you get launched. You get launched really high, so it accelerates you really, really crazy. But it doesn't accelerate you. I don't believe. I could be wrong, but at least feeling it, like you know, feeling the like my meter of feeling the forces. It was like it accelerated you for like 3.5 seconds. They say it was 128, but it was like it was fun, but it didn't make me like. It wasn't like uncomfortable. It's like, yeah, you're getting shoved back and you're feeling it. And I imagine that, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe someone that's quote unquote an expert can, but just from what I'm feeling, like you're sitting down and the forces now are you're getting thrown back in the seat. Just like I was on the Superman ride, like, because you're lying on your back and it's like kind of the same force now to push it down on you. But like the King Dakar was like, it just wasn't as forceful. I mean, it was still really forceful for a couple seconds, but it wasn't enough that like, oh, I can't breathe. Or like this was like, oh, you know. Oh.
That would have been nice
cool.
to have a video of we could share.
I mean, there's videos of the ride online. Plenty of them.
Well, no, I want a GoPro close up on your face when you went down and.
Oh yeah, that would have been. Like it wouldn't be as good now because I know how to ride it and prepare for it. But yeah, like the first time reaction, especially me after, like I can't breathe. What the hell?
Yeah, it feels like we're back in 2020.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was I was like I might be too old for this kind of stuff because I don't know. It was I don't know. But I guess in a way I am because it's just. Just the whole day just really beat me up. I don't know. It's whatever. But anyway, in other news besides, you know.
Well, before we get to other news, I just have a question. Like, so having done this now, and how does it feel to go to an amusement park at 33 and come back feeling beaten and bruised and battered? Does it make you how do you feel about getting older?
That's the thing. It's hard to say because like. I know, obviously, a little bit of age. Like, I know if I were younger, it wouldn't have probably beat me up as, like, I guess I wouldn't have felt it as much. But I'm like, I've never ridden these rides this many times and quite done, because usually when I would go to parks younger, you had to wait in line forever, and it was like you never got to just keep riding these crazy rides over and over. And like I said, that one El Toro, that ride was rougher than that ride hurt me more than I've ever ridden in a ride before. Now you're like, well, would it have hurt you as much if you were younger and this and that? I don't know. It's tough to say. It's hard to say because it's like this is the first time I've ever done this many rides, over and over, that were a mix of forceful and really hurting me because of how rough they were. Because it wasn't just that one ride. There were a couple other rides that were like, oh, God, oh, that hurt.
Sounds fun.
So it's tough to say. It's tough to say. I don't know if I can blame it all on old age, to be fair. Like I think I don't know. It's tough to say.
Yeah. Like normally, you maybe if you got to wait in long lines, it gives your body a little time to, heal up between them. Yeah, you're not doing it. It's like you're not taking as many punches either. You know what I mean? It's like it's less punches too. Like or less punches, less someone throwing something on your back. I don't know. It's just thinking of the forces from the jerkiness and whatever the hell, just slamming into the side of the cart of the roll. I don't know. It's just, yeah. It's just, other than that, other than my shoulder feeling and my like upper back feeling kind of messed up, I feel fine. I just feel a little like my legs are just from walking and stuff. So I guess in a way I contradict myself because I actually don't feel that bad. I don't know. And I don't know why my shoulder and kind of top of my back hurts. I don't know if that was from. I'm guessing it's from that El Toro wooden ride because that really hurt. Like I was, I have a pretty decent pain tolerance, but it was a fun ride. But I was like, it was really like I even said, oh, this is the spine crusher. I could almost feel like, oh man, ooh. Yeah, they could rename it the Spine Crusher.
Yeah, I don't. What I don't get is like they fixed up that ride, and whatever they did, like someone had to ride that in the back or wherever and go, yeah, this is acceptable. You know what I mean? Like but that's the thing. It comes down to money. Oh, we don't give a shit. Like we paid all this money for this thing. We're not gonna make it. It's an old wooden roller coaster. We're not gonna spend all the money to make it, smooth as butt. I don't know. But it's still like someone was like, yeah, this is good enough. This is good. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. It makes you wonder if they even do have people that ride it to make sure it's okay.
I mean, that same train derailed, so it's like, all right, well, I guess who is supposed to check these rides and be the clearly they let it get to the point where it derailed. You could blame it on any reason. I mean, you let it derailed, so. And then now it's like, yeah, it feels like the Spine Crusher. It's a shame because that ride it didn't do that last year. I don't know. And I'm kind of pissed because I watched reviews on that ride after they retracted and no one mentioned. I mean, I had to read some comments now of people saying it feels a lot rougher. But like, I guess I didn't look too far into it. But like the people that were reviewing the ride, they didn't mention or say that it felt a lot rougher. So. Kind of PO'd about that. I don't like when people, and maybe to them it didn't feel rough. Right? Again, there's a lot of who knows, man. Like I said, I can't fully blame them, but anyone that wants to ride it now, it's don't ride it in the back. Basically, yeah. I mean, it was definitely rougher because I was sitting on like a seat that had the wheel. Like that always makes a ride rougher, but shouldn't mean that like I'm sitting on a wheel seat, my spine feels like it's getting. Squashed. Oh man.
Oh yeah, while you were discussing these rides, it did occur to me that there are rides that I don't completely hate. This might be an interesting moment time to branch off into this different kind of a ride, which is kind of like, I don't know what they're really called, but like the kind where you're in like a circular thing and strapped in with people going down the water ride.
Oh, like the rapid ride.
Yeah, those
like
I don't.
You hit the rapids.
Those I don't.
Spins a little bit.
Those I don't hate because it's not as for your older age, it's not as rickety.
Yeah. You're on water.
You're on water.
Yeah. Now, what about water rides in general? What about just the like a log flume that just goes down and hits water?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be more open to something like that. Anything where you're like, riding on water or end up, riding down into water or whatever. But yeah, especially on a hot summer day,
Oh
the
yeah,
splashes and yeah. So I don't actually hate those water kind of rides.
yeah, they're pretty cool. We didn't ride any yesterday because I was just so occupied. I probably should have, but I was so occupied with trying to get these roller coasters and crushing my spine and making me
Yeah,
feel like I had a heart attack.
you
But
wanted to get your weekly bodily abuse quota met.
it's funny because when I went on that ride the third time, that Superman ride, the one that makes you feel like you can't breathe and stuff. I was like, when I was going up the lift hill the third time, I was like, I'm like, why am I doing this? It's like it was still fun, but it was like fun in a way that like someone who's like trying to get that last rep in at the gym or something. Like it's not like a fun of like, it's like the fun of like, oh, can I do it again? Like, can I endure it again? Kind of fun. It's not like a whippy, hey, that's just fun. It's like, can I endure that loop again? Yeah.
This will get me ready for what the rest of the year has in store. One more trip on the spine crusher.
No, the spine crusher, I was done with that because like that was just painful. I was like,
Oh, you were on the
like
Superman ride.
yeah, the one that makes you go down in that loop and it makes you hit all those G forces. Like it doesn't after you get out of the loop, you're not hurt from it. It's just those 2 seconds. It's just like you know. Um,
Well,
I mean,
okay.
it takes the. I mean, what?
Here's an interesting question. So obviously, so the Superman one is the one you couldn't breathe. I want to get that clear.
Yeah, that was the one.
Okay, so
I couldn't
here's
breathe
an
the first
interesting
time.
question. So you did that 3 times, from what I understand.
Yes.
The first one was the worst because you weren't prepared for it. How would you
Right. Yep.
how would you compare number one to number two trips on it? Or not number one, number two, and number three.
Still just as intense, but since I was like bracing for it, I like taking a breath and just being. I didn't really take a breath. I was just more conscious of like my breath because I might have just maybe I just didn't breathe for that second right before. I don't know how it happened, but like I couldn't breathe because I guess I wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I was trying to breathe right when it happened.
Yeah,
I'm
you
assuming
might
like
have.
maybe right before. I didn't know when. I didn't know exactly when I was going to start feeling those G's. So like I knew it was going to be near the bottom, but like yeah, I was just in. I forgot how intense. Like I might have been like I might have just exhaled and went to go take a breath and that's what it felt like. I was like I must have timed it perfect. I was about to take a breath. It was really freaky. I was like, I fucking never felt that. Like, because it's like if you look at the ride, it's about 2 seconds. Like it's about 2 seconds. You feel just this intense G. So I think that's what happened. And then the second time, I just took a breath. And then the third time, I just kind of was like, yeah, just kind of conscious of my breath and where I was at. Like I wasn't gonna go into that like without any air, like that, or trying to breathe per se.
So were
Happening.
was the second and third time kind of similar then?
Yeah. They were similar, but it was still like intense to feel. Like I don't. It would be hard to do that ride like 10 times in a row. Like it would take a lot out of you. Just keep having to do that.
Yeah, forget waterboarding. We'll put them on the ride, the Superman ride, to get them to talk.
I don't know. It's only for like 2 seconds. I mean, if you sustain high G forces long enough, like you will, if you will go unconscious, you will have problems.
You will have problems.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how much you're feeling, like how high they are. But like, I don't. Yeah. Yeah. It was cool though. Like it was an experience for sure. I've ridden it when I was younger, like in the back, and I don't know. I rode it with my sister, and I want to ask her like did we ride in the like we rode in the back, but like dude, I was like I'm trying to think, did we ride in the back? Because like the further back you go, the more the more you're gonna feel like I guess the faster you're gonna feel that whip because you're further in the back of that, you know. Because I did ride it last year and I rode it in the middle, and I'm not kidding. Like I rode it in the middle train, I didn't feel that at all. Like it was just like a normal loop. Like I was disappointed because I was hoping for that intense, and I rode it in the middle and I didn't feel it. But rode in the very back row and it was like. What the night and day difference was like crazy. So yeah, you wouldn't think it'd be that different, but I mean to the point where like you don't even feel the G's or like they're so. Yeah, I guess you feel them a little, but I guess not enough. It's not even like okay, yeah, you know. But yeah.
All right.
You could. Yeah. Sorry. What?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
When I was looking at the coaster off ride, like you can definitely see the last car and the last two parts of the train, maybe three. Like you can actually see it. I guess the length and the way the loop's designed, you can see them just get whipped like towards the bottom, like because like it's a long train and the front goes down at decent speed, and then when the front starts to go up or like starts to really get momentum, it just whips the back and it's like, oh shit, like way faster, just yeah. So it makes sense when I was actually looking at it, like how much faster that back was actually getting whipped through that loop.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny if like if when the cars pull into the thing to stop and get your people off and onto the ride, like you look at the back.
So it's dead?
No, well that too. But if you look at the rear cars, like they're kind of bent to one side because of the force in the rear. Like they'd be squashed to one side or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, imagine that rear car. Yeah, I would imagine the wheels on it get more force. They have to deal with more stress, for sure. So I mean, they're getting more force thrown into them on that part. So, but yeah, it was fun though. It was tiring, but it was fun. But yeah, besides that, what else has been new with you? So you couldn't sail today? Well, because you don't got a sailboat.
Well, yeah,
at least the sail to put on.
It'd be a perfect day to sail, but I don't have a sailboat. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get a pole and just make yourself a makeshift sail. Just get a little rope and something to turn it on. I guess lock it into place. There you go.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm making it sound easy, but I mean,
yeah, it does. Cool. Yeah, you do make it sound easy. Yeah.
I mean, in theory, you could just anything light enough and I guess strong enough. I mean, obviously there are certain materials that are better for sailing, but I said you've probably held something. If you're held something in the air, like in the wind, and it just gets thrown like maybe a large piece of it happened a lot when I was getting the insulation for the bottom of my floor in my shed.
Oh yeah,
I bought that. Do you ever see the insulation that's like it's like solid foam, kind of. It's just like a piece of like thin foam.
Yeah, I know what I know what you're talking about. Yeah, if the wind gets that, oh Nelly.
Oh yeah, and it was like a couple windy days. I was picking it up, and it's like comes in a big sheet, and I just wasn't expecting it. Like I was holding it out, and one of the pieces just came out of my hand. It was like, whoo, just. I was not expecting. I wasn't holding on to it tight, and the gust of wind took it right out of my hand and blew it across the parking lot. And then I was like putting it in my cart, and like the wind was like it was just catching those pieces of insulation and trying to blow my cart around. So like I mean, you just secure that thing to the side of a boat. I mean, that So I don't know.
I hear you.
Yeah, it's amazing. The wind just wants to. Yeah, wind power is kind of an interesting thing. It's just how it works, If there's enough of an area, I guess, and it's light enough and strong enough, and it'll just take to it.
Yep, physics.
Yeah, just push it.
Physics.
Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how much you can do with just the power of wind, alone, working in your favor.
Yeah, like I say, I'd be up for sailing if someone invited me to go sailing on their boat.
Yeah, sailing on the boat. Yeah, what's it like trying to sail with a windy day, like with a kayak? Is it just you're constantly fighting the wind? I don't know if I've ever.
Yeah, I mean, I usually just go around the perimeter because I'm like bobber hunting and stuff. So
Yeah,
for me, when I'm kayaking, it's fun to go around the perimeter and just see what's there. Like I don't really go into like the center of the lake because then it's just like, well, what's there to? Yeah, I'm in the center of the lake, big deal. Like so. When you're going around the perimeter, it's really not that big a deal. And, anyone who knows anything about being on a lake and the wind is, if you want to go to where the less wind is, you go to the side of the lake the wind's coming from. That will be the less windy side.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. You said you've never been on a sailboat at all. If I remember.
No, I have, like when I was a teenager, a friend of my dad's took us out onto, I think, a relatively small boat that, just be big enough for 3 or 4 people kind of a thing. And,
Yeah,
I wish I could remember that more, but I mean, I imagine it was fun. I mean, I've always liked the water. So I think that was the only time I was ever on a sailboat.
yeah. I imagine you would like it because it's just no. You can still enjoy hearing the sounds of nature. You're kind of moving in a way. You're kind of moving at the pace of what nature and what if the wind's picking up and there's a storm. Hey, guess what? You're moving faster. And if it's like more calm and less wind, you're just kind of moving at a slower snail's pace.
Yeah, you're
I
moving.
like that.
You're moving at the speed the Lord wants you to move. So the Lord.
Yeah, just like if you're going down a river, and you just kind of letting the river take you, and then when the rapids come, you go with the rapids, and you're going faster.
And then
go back to slower.
I don't go with the rapids, but I hear you.
Well, I'm just saying, you're moving, like you said, you're moving with the Lord's pace. You're going with the flow, as they say.
The Almighty Lord. I forgot to say Almighty.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. And are you a fishing guy? Do you like fishing?
Yeah, I don't like
I feel
to.
like I've asked you.
I don't like to fish. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't like fish. So if I liked fish, maybe I'd like to fish. But I don't like fish,
Right.
so I don't fish.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I don't like fish, so therefore I don't fish. Makes sense.
But I mean, I guess I do eat, beef, but that doesn't mean I'm into, frickin' slaughtering cows. So I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I fished a lot as a kid. I haven't done it in a long time since I was a kid. And I did gut a few fishes that I caught.
Yeah, I'm too
ate them.
I'm too squeamish for that. You think I wouldn't have a problem with it because of my horror movie, tastes, but I mean it's all fake in horror movies. Well, not all of it. Sometimes they do actually have real pig guts and intestines in zombie movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna eat a pig and you're gonna have to gut it anyway, it's the best prop. It's not a bad prop. I never. Yeah, it's But why not do one step better? Get the real thing from a human if you're gonna gut a human.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't they have to gut them for the? Do they? I don't know how does the. You know anything about how they what they do with the body? Don't they have to take the insides out? I'd imagine when they go to whatever they do inside the body. I don't know. To me, it's like a really crazy. I'm not into that kind of shit, to be honest. Like the whole funeral and whatever they do to the body. Like I'm not. It creeps me. It's just, to me, it's super creepy. Like preserving a dead body so you could look at it.
Yeah,
to me, it's just really creepy.
That industry is so fucked up and nasty. But from what I don't quote me, but from what I understand, all you got to do is just replace the blood with formaldehyde or whatever the hell it is, and I think you're good to go. I don't think they got to take the intestines out.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. Okay, gotcha. Oh God, just you die. You're supposed to rot and get rot and go back into the ground.
Were you gonna say rot and get eaten?
Sometimes you can get eaten, yeah. Well, I guess technically, I mean, if you start rotting, things are going to start eating you, flies and other various insects. So I guess you do get eaten in a way.
Well, what, if you had a choice, what would you want to have done with your corpse?
You definitely don't do what they're going to do, preserving me and, oh God, because it's like, you're not even letting like nature take its course with your insides, at least right away, it's just, oh God, it's so weird. It's just that alone, like what we do with people after they die, it just really kind of tells you a lot about how fucking, just to me, how fucked our society is. I think just like you look at the birth of babies and the end of your life, and how does your culture deal with the birth and the end? And you fucking kind of tells you a lot of the in between. You notice that?
Yeah, are you referring to like chemicals and on both stages of beginning of life and end?
Yeah, I guess I'm referring to like the whole kibit and caboodle, like the chemicals, like where it's done, how people celebrate it, or how like when you come into this world, it's like you're in a. I mean, to me, hospitals, I've always been like, they've always freaked me out. They're just these ultra white. I don't know. Just these bland, sterilized environments that with super just white lights and white walls and just, ugh. I don't know. Just ugh. Just these dead places, right? Yeah, so people, that's where they're born, because there's one minor complication, you got to have the doctor there. I don't know, it's just the whole thing. Then after you're born, at least in America and other countries, it's what do they do? 2 boys, snip snip.
Oh.
I mean, just this fucking. It's just. I mean, the list goes on. Of just. I don't know. It's just stuff that I'm just. Just. I don't know. Like, how should a baby be born? How would you think? Like, if you were gonna have a baby, which neither of us are, but what would be an ideal situation?
Well,
assuming that the mother is not gonna. Did I just assume mother and say mother? Like,
well, you also assume you also assume that you and I might never have a baby.
Have a kid ourselves.
Yeah, I mean we just because we don't want to get pregnant and have children now doesn't mean we won't want to get pregnant and have children in the future. So don't don't assume anything.
Yeah, men can have get pregnant. I forgot. But how would you think bringing a kid, your kid even, like just, or any kid, I don't know, a kid that, whatever.
Don't say my kid. That scares me. Take that back.
Okay. Your friend's kid. How about that? Like your friend had a kid. How would you want to be there for? I mean, maybe not.
No, I don't want to see childbirth.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense to be in a hospital. I don't know.
Did you ever answer my question? What you want to have done with your corpse?
Oh no, I didn't, because I just went on this thing like, oh god, this fucking funeral shit, and I don't know. I haven't thought about it enough, to be honest. I mean, part of me just doesn't care. Just let it rot. Just let it rot. Let it do what it's supposed to do.
Let it rot.
Part of me thinks like maybe it'd be good to just throw my corpse when it's just starting to rot, like when it starts to get good and smelly. Throw it in the middle of Times Square. Just dump it off the body, the rotting corpse right there. 9 a.m. Let them see it. Let them smell it. I'm just joking.
Let them smell it. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like care that much. To me, it's just let me rot in the ground. Like I don't. It doesn't. I guess more like where. I don't know. It's like I'm out of this body. It doesn't. I'm not occupying this thing anymore.
It doesn't concern you.
Yeah, it doesn't concern me. It doesn't. Yeah. I don't. I literally don't care. Just throw me in the woods. There you go. I don't in the ocean. It's just whatever. Doesn't matter.
Oh, here's a good question. What do you think about people who think it's like, there's a kind of I think it's kind of more or less an accepted kind of a thing in North America, kind of this at cemeteries to like not walk on someone's grave. Like, what do you think about those kind of ideas?
Superstitious bullshit.
Yeah, it's just like I don't think they care.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big. I mean, though they're not nearly. Listen, golf courses need to go. I mean, if there's one thing I'm gonna be a tyrant about, you know. If I had to be a tyrant, I'd be getting rid of all the golf courses. I'd be using the land to. Dude? Honestly, in my mind, anything. I hate golf. Not that I hate the sport. It's just I just hate what it represents. I hate all this land that's just getting. I don't know. It's what? Like, yeah. What about you? You like race cars and all the land used just to drive race cars. I'm like, I don't know. I just whatever.
What does golf?
I'm being a hypocrite, but
what does golf represent? Just
who the fuck? I mean, fucking golf. I mean, just like talk about a sport, dude. I don't know. I fucking hate it. Like I don't mind driving a golf. Like it's kind of cool to drive a golf. Maybe it's fun to hit a golf ball, but just dude, they're using so much land just to hit a ball. Like no other sport is like, yeah, we need like, I don't know, like some of those golf courses aren't there like miles and miles of land taken up?
Could be
just for a sport. And again, I'm being hypocritical because there are racetracks that probably use up way more land. But I would say to you, fuck you. Racing is way cooler. And people drive like, and also keep in mind, a lot of your developments for cars, like getting the suspension tuned better, and there's been a lot of investments from racing teams. Like who do you think's making your car better? And handle better and run better and better, more efficient engines. Where do you think most? It's done. I guess sometimes it's done just in a private corporation. But just look at the history of developments that racing teams have done for the car industry. So what is golf? I guess they've made golf better by golfing a lot. Like, I made a better golf club, man. But my argument is everyone drives a car. And people that are really into cars are going to make cars better. So, and it's just fucking cool. Like, who doesn't think that cars drifting around and slamming into each other is not cooler than an old guy hitting a fucking ball? I don't know. Yeah, this badass Ferrari just ripping around the track is, it's so comparable to an old guy that you don't even want to look at hitting a ball. But like all the other sports where they hit balls and throw them, like what do they use? Like 100 yards, like a football? Look what they can do with a football field. They got how many guys throwing a football around? I mean, it's only 100 yards, a little more, I guess, but soccer, same thing, a little more space with a soccer, but I don't know. All these other sports, they manage to do it with a lot less. Mini golf is great. We should start a movement, Nate. We should be like, just get rid of these useless green golf courses. Like, make them mini golf. You want to play golf? Get mini golf. Downsize. You want to you got to live in the, I don't want to say it because, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to downsize. Everything else is downsizing except fucking golf courses, Your house got downsized, your car, everything. It's like, what are these golf courses, man? Look how much. I mean, just oh god. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going on a rant. I really don't like. I hate what golf represents, and I don't like this. Not a fan.
Well, wait. Did you ever answer my question? What does golf represent?
Oh, I guess I did it. I don't just fucking scum. That's all. I don't know. Just like rich scumbags. Like I mean, I'm probably wrong, but like I just imagine every piece of shit that's just fucking robbing us legally. Let's be real. It's just I bet you most of them are at a golf course somewhere at a country club golf course somewhere. I bet you, or somewhere, just.
Yeah, it seems to me like they used to try to get people riled up. Was it with with one of the recent quote unquote presidents, like the country was going to shit and they'd be in the news this president was out golfing or
yeah. Which I don't you know how that works. If they said it in the news, it's definitely true. So they said in the news they were definitely golfing, and we're not going to question that. But
no.
I could understand maybe someone would question were they actually, or was it just, to rile people up.
Wow, looks like
no one's here.
Looks like 4 people here. People are. I wonder if the chat is defective or something. You think someone would say something? Can we get something in chat so we can see?
Did mine come up? I just typed something in.
I think there's a little bit of a lag. Maybe the chat is fucking defective. Oh yeah, it says is chat here? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the person who's here or
they're shy.
They're
shy.
Yeah, because we don't know who's actually here. It might not be the ones that usually talk. Maybe it's a new person. Hello, new person.
And let me just take this opportunity. Just 30 minutes ago, Summerhill Cinema 700, just after taking 2 months off, he actually put up a video. So it's Blu-ray, CD, vinyl, and channel update. So I'll check that out sometime later. But I just was kind of worried about Summerhill, a 2-month hiatus. But he's back for a video with the channel update, I guess. So
what country does he live in again? Summerhill?
Canada.
Oh, yeah, you gotta be, I'd be worried too. Not that America's going to be any better soon, but arguably I would say America could be worse off than Canada because we have different circumstances here with, a lot of different things. I don't know. Things are not going to play out the same everywhere,
Oh, I can't remember in my Skype chat, did I let you know that I can only go 3 hours today?
Yeah, well, I didn't read the Skype chat today because I usually I looked under your community tab on YouTube to see you posted. I read it from the community tab that you posted. I didn't check my Skype today.
The question is, it's just 3 hours today.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Correct.
Okay, just want to let you know, make sure.
Oh, I gotta condense it. Gotta manage to find this time in 3 hours to say what I need to say.
Just talk faster.
Talk faster. Like New York. Just talk like a New Yorker. Not that they talk that much faster, but I don't know. A lot of New Yorkers, New Jersey people at the Six Flags because it was in Jersey.
Oh, that's something I was gonna ask. Back to Six Flags. Did your brother have fun?
Yeah, he loves. I don't know if he was hurt. Like I tried to ask.
I was gonna ask you because isn't he older?
By 2 years, yeah.
So you weren't able to find out if he got hurt?
No, I mean, especially after Superman, I was like, "You all right, Andrew? Seem fine." I mean, I don't know. He can't. I mean, he would communicate like, "Oh, I didn't like that," or like he would tell you if he didn't like it or it wasn't. Like he will, if he doesn't want to do something, he will not do it. Like if he doesn't like something, he doesn't. He won't do it. You never have to worry about him. Like if he will express his distaste for something, even if you didn't ask him. We've been out places eating at like someone's house. I don't know if I've said this before.
Yeah, you've mentioned this.
Yeah. So same with the ride stuff. If something bothered him enough that he didn't like, he would tell you. He would definitely say it. So, and obviously I looked on his face after. He seemed very happy because it's like he'll be very he'll do certain things when he's really happy. He'll just smile a lot more and look happy like anyone else. But so after Superman, because I was like, "You all right? Like, Andrew, is that good? Like, that was pretty crazy." Like, I know I wasn't that good, but like again, like I said, he seemed really happy, and he was like, "Oh, I like it," Okay, yeah, I don't know. He must have handled. And then we rode El Toro, and I couldn't ride it anymore. But I mean, I asked him like, "You all right? Like, you like that? You all right? Like, that was really rough." I don't, I don't know. I couldn't ride it anymore. I don't know how. And if I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, overall, he loves riding roller coasters. He's not scared at all of them either. It's crazy. He never gets scared of them. He just goes on.
Wow.
Because he gets really scared. He can't go into like haunted houses.
Oh.
Like, he can do like the stuff where like it's like animatronics and stuff. Like you see, like like the stuff where you'll just go through and it's just animatronics and nothing. Like if there's any real people that are trying to scare you, he gets scared of that. Like if a real person comes up, yeah, because he doesn't like. I don't know if he just know. I don't think he knows that that's not real. Like they're just pretending. You know what I mean? I don't know if he. I don't know if he knows that or that's or something else is scaring him. But he gets like we made that mistake one time because I thought he was like we went to one of those places that do like the haunted hay rides and then haunted walkthroughs like cornfields and stuff like that. It wasn't an actual cornfield, but I guess it's just like a haunted walkthrough out in the woods, whatever. And he was fine on the hayride, and people were acting. They'd come up to the vehicle, and he seemed all right, And I don't know if it's because there was a lot more people on the hayride with us, and then also he didn't have to walk. It wasn't as so. We made a mistake, and we brought him to one he had to walk. He was like, we had to have him leave early, but we had to tell the actor like, dude, he can't. He's like, can you get us out of here quick and tell the other actors when we walk, so we had to emergency evacuate him basically because he was really scared. So
yeah, emergency evac.
Like too scared, not like if he was a little scared. Fine, that's what the whole point. But he was like freaking out. We had to have him go. So I guess my point was he gets scared of that, but like the roller coasters could be the scariest thing in the world. He just hops right on it.
Well, there you go.
So anyway, yeah. So yeah, he had fun. He had fun. I would say we pretty much he rode all the rides I did. There were a couple times where like he walks pretty slow. So there's a couple times where like I just by the time since the rides were so dead, there was no line. Like I there were a couple of times when I was like, I'm just gonna ride this because we were gonna go to another ride. So I just would like one or two rides. I would run because some of these stations you have to walk a while to get to the ride, and then you have just to get on the ride. So I would just run back on the ride and meet up with them at the next. I mean, by the time that they got kind of walking a little bit, I was already done the ride and able to meet up with them. So that happened a couple times. But he rode everything I did for the most part, just maybe not as many times. I guess that's my point.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, okay. So about an hour and 8 minutes into the show, and no one else. I mean, I guess Matt.
Wow, is this the first?
Nah, I mean, I don't keep track, but there was a show before with. There was a show before where it took forever for someone to show up and chat. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I might have said last week that I wasn't going to do it this week, which probably doesn't help either. It's fine.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
It's fine. It's summer life. I hope people are.
Goes on.
Yeah. Plus, up until a couple
life.
Hours ago, I wasn't going to do the show, so it's fine. I just figured I'd come on, and I keep on forgetting. You always have to think of the people who will listen after the fact, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the few people that listen after the fact. Yep.
You can hear, Matthew Heagerty's torturous trip to the amusement park.
Yeah, still 3 people watching.
Well, that's cool.
That's good.
Thanks for showing up, everyone, listening and enjoying Matthew Heagerty's stories.
Yeah, my spine crushing trip at in heart stop. Isn't that a good marketing? Spine crushing, heart stopping theme park.
Yeah.
Dude, at the end of the day, my mom was like, "You want to ride him a roller coaster?" So we actually left an hour early. I was just so. I did a lot of walking too, and it was hot out. But like, yeah, between like all the rides and walking and the sun, we left an hour early. I was like, I can't. I gotta go home. Like I'm just. Yeah, and my last ride of the day was the Ferris wheel. I was like, I don't even want to ride anything that's more than just sitting down, and you know what I mean. Like I was just like, I'm so. She was like, "You want to ride anything else?" I was like, I can. Like I don't know, not anything that involves any type of roughness or anything. I was just like, I'm drained right now.
Yeah, that's understandable. Getting older ain't no joke.
Yeah, like I said, I don't necessarily think it was. I don't know. I don't think it was so much me getting older, because I don't know if I would have been able to handle all that even as a kid. Because again, I have nothing to compare it to, because I've never been able to ride those specific rides that crush my spine and ride them over and over again, this and that. So, yep, that crushed my spine. You want your spine crushed? You want to feel like you're gonna have a heart attack? You can't breathe? You come to Six Flags today.
And give us your money. You'll give us the money, and you'll feel like shit when you get home. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Yeah. Exactly. Oh man. I don't know. Like I was when I rode Superman the first time, there was like these two. I don't know how old they were, because it's like 4 seats in a row. So it was like my brother and I, these two girls. I don't know if they're like 11, 12. I don't think they were like. They definitely were not in high school. And I was like, I was going up the lift hill, and I was like, "Hey, have you guys?" I was like, "You guys ridden this before?" They're like, "No." I was like, "Get ready for the loop." Like I told them, I was like, "Get ready for this first loop, because you're not gonna." I was like, "It's very intense." It's like my mind's blown. Like they don't have a warning on this ride. Like if you ride in the back, because like I said, if you ride in like the middle or front, you don't really feel it. I was like, there should be like a warning on the back, like this ride's really intense in the back, like super intense. Beware. But yeah, I told them, and then after, like, wow, that loop was so intense. And I was like, yeah, did your heart stop or anything? And they kind of like were like, I don't think so. It's like, oh shit, maybe I'm just old, man. I felt kind of sad, because after the first one, I think it was just because I didn't breathe. Like I was just about to I was trying to do a breath. I think that's what it was, but. At the time, I just thought I was just getting old, because these girls seemed fine. They were like, "Yeah, that was fun. That was intense," and I'm just like, "I feel like I had a heart attack." I did like the walk of shame back. I'm like, I don't know if I can ride these rides. It was. I was sad. I was actually genuinely sad. I was like, dude, I don't even know, because these girls seem fine, and like, I feel like I was fine when I was 17 and I rode this. I'm like, what's going on?
It would have been funny if the girls would have said, "God, what are you, 20?"
What do you mean?
Well, to them that's old. Well, you sound like a 20-year-old, Gramps.
Yeah. It was, and then the next ride I had, there were a bunch of I guess they were teenagers all around me, and after the loop, they're like, "Wow, that's crazy! I felt like my Someone said, like, I felt like my cheekbones were getting spread out." So it's like, people talk about it. It's a really intense part of the ride. It's not, but again, it's not like, oh, I felt like my heart stopped and I was gonna die. Like I didn't hear anything like that.
Except from your own mouth.
Yeah, from my old ass. I'd have to go to like the older people in the park. Like, how was that ride? Yeah, they're like, oh, I don't know. I feel like I had to take my medication afterwards. Oh man. Yeah, it was yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that happened at that park. It was just a pretty standard day.
Okay, good.
Got the ride. Yeah, no. Yeah, it was kind of, like I said, man. The biggest thing was like, yeah, I've never been to a park that like and it was summer weekday, like, I know it's not as crowded, but dude, who's like, wow. Like, again, almost no wait for most of these rides. It was like, that's not good. Like, it's good, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's not good, like, sign of the economy and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, it's good, but it's not good.
It's good. It's kind of like when I would go to the movie theater and, like, not many people would go. It's good because you're, like, the only one there. There's only a couple people. But it's not good because, you know, it's the sign of the times. And it's only a matter of time before, you know, the movie theater closed down. So it's like, yeah, it's like the park needs people and it needs to be crowded because these rides, you know, those parks are really expensive. So yeah, it's good for you. There's no times, you know, no, you know, you can hop on rides, but it's also bad because you might not have a park to go back to.
Well,
so I don't know. That was crazy.
When's the last time you were there?
Last year, actually. That's what was even crazier. I was actually there in June of 2020. No, I'm sorry. Actually, even sooner. Okay. I was there last October. And I was there on a weekday night. So, weekday night, it's going to make sense that it's not going to be that crowded. But prior to that, I was there June of 2021. And though it wasn't super crowded, like, I still had to wait in line, like, you know what I mean? Like, one of the like Superman, I had to wait like 30 minutes for that ride, you know, last June when I went. So I went around the same time last year, like, and yeah, it was a lot more crowded. So even in 2021, which you would imagine would probably be, yeah, I don't know. It was just you could chalk it up to a bunch of other things, like, you know. But to me, it's like, well, gas is really expensive. There's a lot of things are just more expensive now, and there's a lot of, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like food on the table or Six Flags.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Exactly, or gas in my car or Six Flags, right? Because it's not like most people, like, don't live right by the park, you know, so a lot of people got to drive a couple hours, so like the cost of the trip for some people pretty much almost doubled, like, you know, the gas. So
tripled, yeah, because gas in June of 2021 was, I don't know, I can look it up, but it was, yeah, it's definitely probably almost doubled, if not doubled. Well, I'd say it's more than, oh wait, yeah, okay, I guess maybe
June of 2021 it was going up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's not quite double yet, come to think about it. It just feels like it. Okay.
Yeah, it was starting to go up, but it's been a year now. But I feel like it was. I could probably look it up, but
you probably.
Yeah, it's. But keep in mind, June of 2021, the cost of food was cheaper too. Like, a lot of things have gone up, besides gas too, from last year. You know, so it's not just the gas purely, even though that went up a lot from last year, but everything else is going up too in relation. You know.
Yeah, I was just at Target today, and I usually buy their own, you know, their own store Market Pantry brand cereal. What the hell is it? Just I can't remember what.
I know you. I know you mean though. I can't remember the name. Fresh. It's not Fresh Market. It's
Market Pantry, but I can't remember the name of the cereal. Oh, just like Raisin Bran, and I've been getting that because it's like used to be $2.50, now it's $2.70. But like the last couple times I was there, it's like they don't even have it at all. Like everyone's buying the cheap cereal and leaving the expensive name brand stuff there. And I you know, yeah, I had to get a freaking box. Had to pay $1 more for name brand.
And then it comes to the point where you got to be grateful that you got any cereal at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, that's kind of the thought. So I hear you.
And that's what I kind of remind people. It's like, yeah, things are getting expensive, but there may or may not be a time where you won't be able to get it. Like, you can't even complain about the high price because it's just not even there. So it's like, keeping that in mind, it's just, ooh.
I hear you. Any plans on seeing any movies this summer or anything like that?
That's because this is a huge movie fanatic channel. Gotta bring up movies.
Yeah,
I know it's not that.
we're an hour and 20 minutes into the show. We want to talk about anything movie. Yeah, I'll bring up a movie topic. What the hell? I'll be original. So any plan? Any interest in seeing any?
When does Thor come? Let me look up. I still want to look up. I still want to check out. I might see Thor and Thunder in the movies. Well, I mean, I'm interested. Doesn't mean I'll see it in the theaters, but July 8th. Okay. If we're still alive, July 8th, I might go through.
What if we're not alive? Then what?
Hopefully I can see it in the afterlife if there is one.
Well, hopefully my body will be in Times Square rotting and smelling. And
well, will I be in my body still? Dun, dun, dun. You know.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. My body rotting in Times Square. I had I can't think of it now. It'll probably come to me, but I had a question for you that I was thinking of, but I was going to ask you on Skype, but I can't even remember what the hell it was now. So
why didn't you ask when you knew what it was?
Because it was like I was doing something else. I wasn't I don't know. I don't even remember what the question was or where I was when I thought it, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It was something to do with your filming or something. I can't remember. But
oh, that's something I was thinking as well. Like you'd mentioned that you might watch my film, which will go unnamed. You might watch it.
Yeah, can I see it at the theater? Yeah, it will go unnamed. Yeah.
No,
can I see it at the theater? Your film?
No, probably not. You said you might watch it again once the warmer weather arrives.
Warmer. Yeah, I gotta. But then I got the extra scenes too. That'd be cool if I could. I'd have to like.
Yeah, you gotta have the.
Pull up the separate window. Yeah, when the. Because don't you have a cut that says, like when you delete the scene, don't you have a cut if I remember that says I had to censor this or I had to. Don't you put like a little split? Like
yeah.
A little,
top.
So I can easily just pull up the video and be like, all right, let me play it now.
Yeah, sex scene has been cut for the internet version, and there's like a sad face.
yeah. That's funny. But yep. yeah, definitely got to check that out again. Has anyone else seen your unnamed movie? And from
I think just I think at this point still just you and shit, I can't even remember his name from the UK. Oh, Gary Page, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Jesse said he's I don't know, I would imagine someday Jesse's going to see it. Maybe he's a busy fella, but you think could kind of be right up his alley because, it's the genre he loves and he wants to do a Friday fan film, so
yeah.
Maybe someday Jesse will see it. And Austin is trying to find a DVD out in the wild in Oklahoma. Good luck.
Yeah, I remember that. And you haven't had any recent sales from random people?
Yeah, I did have one from Jersey weeks ago.
Was it the guy from the channel that comes on from Jersey?
I mean, probably not. If it was, he didn't say it was him. But
yeah, I feel like he would have told you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you got to say, was it online or was it a mail DVD?
Yeah, it was a DVD sent to Joyzy. Yep.
Oh man. Okay. And did you put a little like thank you note when you mail them out, or do you give them a little extra scene?
I do the thank you in the email. I let them know it's shipped, and I say thank you in an email.
Did they respond? You don't have to say what they say.
Yeah, people really generally don't respond, which is weird. I always wonder if when I don't get any feedback or a little review to put on the website, I always wonder if they just hate it or just too lazy to do a review. You think if they really really hated it, I'd hear from them. So.
Yeah.
it does make you wonder though when most people you don't hear from at all, and it kind of makes you wonder. But oh well.
Do you say you probably have the analytics, but do you actually mail out more than you sell just the online digital?
Yeah, I didn't start doing that digital until I want to say about a year ago now or something. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll tell you, it's really cool though when I get one of them. I think I got like two or three of those second half stream sales, and those are really cool because it's really simple for me to just send a link
Yeah.
versus having to pack up something and take it to the post office.
Now, did you? I know you did it for me, but when you sent the link to these other people, did you send them the link to the deleted scenes as well?
Let's see how I worked it. I can't. I think to one of them. I can't even remember. I want to say to one of them. I emailed them and or I let them know that. Oh no, I think it was Gary. I think before Gary bought the DVD, I think he had originally got the second half, bought the second half stream, and
Yeah.
after I sent it to you, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I told Gary that I can send him the deleted scenes, and he never responded to that. So I just was like, okay. I kind of feel weird bringing it up to other people because yeah, it's kind of a touchy subject because you don't know like how old the people are, and
Yeah, that's true.
if you're like soliciting like these extra deleted clips to it's just kind
A
of
minor.
I kind of just I did it for you because I know you're
Yeah, yeah.
an old man, and and I was just appreciative. It's a touchy subject.
Sure. Yeah.
But
I guess, but even if you say, hey, there's some deleted scenes, let me know. Like, even that's too much, you think? Like, because you don't have to say what they are. To say there's some deleted scenes after you watch it, let me know if you want to see it.
yeah,
Because I'm sure after they watch it, they'll understand what they were.
I guess it's a touchy subject. I guess I haven't people that I know like you and Gary. Like I say, I mentioned it to Gary in an email as an option, but he ended up just
Yeah, but to be fair, to be sorry to cut you off, but to be fair, I cut you off because I'm old and I might forget what I was going to say.
You're an old man.
Yeah, exactly. When you send the DVD out, you're sending those scenes.
That's
already.
That's
you know
that. That's
so,
that.
like, even if they are whatever. Yeah, I get your yeah. Now you're like, I don't know if I can send the DVD. I gotta censor the DVD.
No, but yeah, I hear you. Ever since I've been selling the DVD, I do have this thing on there, and I think it's in red print that's by buying the DVD, you are stating that you are old enough to view
Right.
this material. So I guess that would kind of go into play with the email as well. But
Is there a rating on the email? I don't want to. Or isn't there a rating on the website? Don't you have a rating on the website? Like, oh, this is rated R.
Well, it's just it's not rated R. I didn't submit it to the MPA, so I mean it's just unrated.
Oh, unrated. Okay, so it's unrated, but can't you say, oh, it has nudity and gore?
That's on the website.
Oh, okay, then it's there already. It's If it's on the website, then it's public information that this is unrated with nudity, blood. So it's not like they don't know what they're getting into. Yeah. They were informed, right? Informed consent, that huge thing. Right?
Yeah, they were informed.
They were informed. Before. So how many people watching? Two. Two people watching, including me. So that means one person.
Oh, damn it.
Because we had one person I noticed like 10 minutes ago. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm just the only one watching. So it's so sad about the drive-in theater, though. Wow.
Yeah, isn't that weird though that like the grass is mowed? Like, why would they mow the grass if they have no intention to sell?
Don't even these people in mowing fucking grass, man. It's like it's like a sick fetish at this point. These fucking people.
Okay, so even if they're gonna sell, they just have to have that grass mowed.
Yeah. I mean, you got like, I you know that app next door, that website.
Oh yeah, you've talked about this, but maybe it's something new. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about like Nextdoor per se. I don't know if I saw this on Nextdoor or like the Facebook group for my area, because there's like a Facebook group as well for my area where people can bitch. It's like the same thing, but I can't. Either way, I don't remember where I found it from, but there was like a guy on there that was like someone made a post, was like, literally made a post, was like, are they gonna cut that grass? Like it was like some grass that like the township was supposed to cut, like near the road, that, like no one walked on or did any, like no, like it wasn't being used for anything. And the guy was so triggered that this grass wasn't cut that he was like, is someone gonna cut that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he made a post about it, and then like a bunch of people responded. Some people were like, are you serious, man? But then there were like a lot of people being like, yeah, I was thinking about getting I was thinking about taking my truck out there and just mowing it myself. It's really driving me nuts. Like, I'm just like, what? Like, you have people, I'm just like, that just drive by and they're losing their shit because grass is cut. Like, he basically admitted it. Like, he was literally he was literally contemplating. He said driving, like, packing up his tractor in his truck and driving over and just mowing it. I'm just, like, it's like, you know, while you're at it, man, why don't you just fix a pothole? Like, actually, you know, like, do something cool like that. If you're going to spend money and time, like, you know, like doing, I guess, quote unquote, what our tax dollars is supposed to do. Like, I obviously, it's like, because I'm sure there's some stupid, I'd imagine there's probably some stupid law or rule like, oh, you can't go on our property and cut the grass, like the tax paying property, you know? Just like you couldn't technically just fill a pothole. They'd be like, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean? You could thank me for spending my money and time filling this pothole that you're supposed to, because you took our money. But anyway, yeah, it's just, but can you imagine that? I was just like, wow, man, shit. Like, he really was content. Like, he wasn't joking. He was like really considering cutting it himself. I was just like, what? I guess my point is, why do they mow this? It's just like, dude, I don't know. They just can't live with themselves if grass is like over, you know, if there's grass not kept to. It's just like, it's got to get cut, you know?
Wow.
It's got to get cut. Gas, I guarantee you gas could be $10 a gallon, and maybe we'll see that. And these people will still be using gas-powered mowers to cut their lawn.
Oh.
I mean, I think it's so bad. I'll say this now on the record. I think some of these people are so fucking obsessed with this shit that gas could be $10 a gallon. They might be waiting in like a bread line and still not get their bread. And they'll still manage to scrap together whatever they have for that gallon of gas, or whatever, or 2 gallons it takes, or whatever gas they need to put in that lawnmower. I bet you still see more people than you would think that are gonna do that, you know?
Yeah, actually, last time we went for a walk, I think I think the electric lawnmowers are becoming more of a thing. We actually saw.
Thank God for that.
We saw, yeah, there you go. We saw 2, what must have been electric lawnmowers, because all you could really hear was the
blades.
Yeah, the blades, you know, chopping up the grass. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's one thing that, like, electric you could have done a long time ago that makes to me a lot more sense to do electric. Like for the average homeowner, I understand, like, if you're mowing a huge field or something, or a golf course, it's not going to work out as well. But like for your average homeowner with like not a lot of land and they have electricity all around their house, they can easily charge a battery. Or hell, in some cases, they can just run a cord and plug it in and walk around or drive it. Like, to me, it always made sense. Like, why wouldn't you? If you're gonna have an electric thing, like, why wouldn't you? Like, that's the thing to do it. But it's like, I don't think it caught on because these people have a fetish. They want to hear. I'm telling you, I think they want to hear the fucking leaf blower. Like they want to hear that loud, obnoxious leaf blow. They want to smell the gas. You know what I mean? They want to have your neighbor come up and be like, dude, you woke me up at like 8 a.m. this morning. Yeah, got it mowed it on. You know? I don't know. It's like because these people have no outlets. Like they have no outlets. You know, but it's like socially mandated to mow your fucking grass. So I don't know. There's something else going on with this shit. It's I don't know. I don't know. Man, they just like green grass. Don't look into it. Don't you know? I don't know. I don't get it. It's totally foreign to me. So.
Yeah, I hear you there.
But yeah, I guess my point was why they haven't made the switch to electric. They can tell me all day till they're blue in the face that it's because gas is just superior and it's so much easier. And it's like, dude, shut up, man. Like I work on cars. I know about. Come on, man. I know a little bit about gas engines. Like fucking telling me that like fucking maintaining that gas engine and dealing with all that shit. Like having to go to the gas station to get like extra gas. Like, dude, even that alone is like, why would I fuck that? Like, you know what I mean? I don't have to store extra gas around and have to go. Like, even that alone's like not that convenient. Like, it's more convenient just to charge a battery, you know? Well, they're like, the batteries die. Like, yeah, after what, like 5 years, dude? Like 6 years? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then you go buy another battery, or you're going to the gas station like every time to fill up your. I don't know, man. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, the apocalypse. Yep. I don't know why I said apocalypse. I guess I was just trying to say there could be an apocalypse and there will be someone out there mowing their lawn.
Yeah, tearing it out with their hands.
No, that's the thing. They won't do that. Like, they'll never like have to like. Do they? Like, I mean, they have those real mowers that you could just push. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even need, like, you can just use a real mower, but anything that requires, like, because they like to be able to sit on that tractor, man, and just sit there. Like, having to cut the grass and all that shit, like, with it, you know, like, pull it out, like, that would require, you know.
Yeah, and then I think some tractors probably have cup holders, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. I think all of them do for the most part.
In trays. Food trays.
Oh, food trays. That might be a new one, but yeah. Yeah, I would, you know. They definitely have cup holders, I think, yeah. But food trays, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Why not, right?
Why not?
Another thing is not only electric lawn mowing, but why hasn't, like, I know they have it now, but, like, you would think that, like, you know, like they have those lawnmowers that just ride them like that. Not even lawnmowers, just those little robot, kind of like how like they have the robot vacuum cleaners. They have like the robot grass cutters.
Yeah, I don't even know how that'd work.
I think you have to run. If I remember it, I think you have to run like a wire, like just a thin wire, like just not far down. I think you have to run it on like the perimeter of your property.
Oh.
And then you have to like, yeah, so like the robot knows like where the edge is. And, like it has to be kind of programmed a little bit, but it's not that bad. Like I don't like you're talking. Okay, so you know, I don't know. They seem to work pretty good. Again, like people bash them. Like all right, like you don't have to mow your lawn anymore. Like this thing does it. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but it's still like I don't know. Again, man, it's a fetish. Like they can say all day, like. Because there's all these other options, and I'm just like, no, man, got to, I don't know. Got to cut that lawn. And then also, I think I thought too, like, you know, a lot of these guys, they hate their family life, and they have an excuse now to just go out there, like with this loud machine. They don't have to hear anyone bitching at them. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they can just put their headphones on, just sit there for 2 hours, and just zone out. I guess I can kind of see that.
Oh, so some people can't wait for the grass to grow so they can go zone out and get away from their family on the mower?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too.
That very well might be true, yeah.
And that probably explains a lot of the leaf blowing obsession too.
Oh my God.
Because they can just stand there and just like drown out their family from ever talking to them for the next 2 hours as they go.
That's true. Yeah.
And they make up all these things. Oh, I gotta get the lace off, and I gotta do that. It's like, dude, you just don't want to talk to your wife because she's annoying you. Like, just you know what I mean? And again, it's a socially acceptable thing. Like, it wouldn't be their wife would get really fucking mad if he just went out there and blasted his guitar for 2 hours and ignored her. You know what I mean? Or played his drum set, or blasted music and just listened to it. Like, they'd be like, "Turn it off! Stop playing your goddamn drums, Bob, and get the fuck back to work." You know? But it's socially acceptable to just sit out there with a leaf blower for like 2 hours. So, well, he's cleaning hey, at least my husband's cleaning the lawn, you know? At least he's cutting the grass.
Cleaning the lawn?
Yeah, but he cleaning the lawn. Like, they call it, because it's called fall cleanup, dude. They're cleaning up the lawn, man.
Looks like we've actually got someone in chat. I don't think we've ever seen this person before. I don't know how to pronounce it. Larky is Zac Efron will star in the some wrestling film from the studio A24. Well, thank you very much for that news info. It must be a wrestler, Von Erichs. Have you heard of that wrestler, Matt?
I don't know. I don't watch. Not a big fan of wrestling.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
I'm not homophobic or anything, but I'm just not a fan of two guys. I just I don't know.
Not a fan of two guys getting sweaty on the mat.
Yeah, just really close, grabbing each other. Again, not homophobic. It's just not entertaining to me.
Plus, I don't think aren't you the one who regards pretty much everything from A24 to be, what's that word you say?
Pretentious.
Pretentious, yeah.
At least they're horror movies. I mean, yeah, some of their other non-horror movies are still pretentious, but I've seen a couple movies from A24 that weren't horror movies that I did enjoy. So whatever their studios making or I guess couple studios that are making their goddamn horror movies are just so fucking pretentious. But I don't just because they make all sorts of movies. They don't just make horror movies. So
probably
no, again, I'm saying this. There are still other movies that A24 makes that aren't horror that I consider pretentious. I can't name them off the top of my head, but because I don't watch them because I'm like, fuck that. It looks pretentious. I don't want to watch another pretentious A24 movie. But they have made a couple movies, that I like that I don't consider pretentious that were not horror. I just haven't quite found a horror movie. I mean, even Midsummer, I liked Midsummer. We talked about that, but it's still a bit pretentious, which I'm not a fan of that, but I did like the movie still,
Okay, good. Do you happen to know the movies that you liked that weren't horror from them?
Let me I don't know off the top of my head. Let me Google them.
He's got a search. He's got to search them.
Yeah, because it's like, let me just see. Let me see the movies they've made. Maybe, what about you? Do you like their non-horror movies?
I don't think I've seen any of their non-horror movies.
You might have.
Yeah, well, maybe if you. Let me
look up.
If you name some titles.
So this is a sort of pretentious, like a little pretentious, not too crazy, at least in my opinion. Movie that I did like. It's a little pretentious, so it's not even a great example of like totally not pretentious. But the movie called Enemy it was called Enemy, and Jake Gyllenhaal starred in it. Have you seen that movie from 2013?
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, that was pretty good. Was that movie Prisoners? Was that done by A24? Let me see.
And while you're doing that, Larkius, that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Larkius says Jennifer Grey returns for Dirty Dancing 2 from Lionsgate. Oh my God. Is she going to be a teacher? One would assume she'll be a teacher, I would think.
Huh. Yeah. Let me see.
Welcome, Larkius.
Still looking.
Matt's looking.
Indie movies, aren't they? Let's see. Any other new? Oh, did they make Ex Machina? Really? No, did they?
Matt's doing some what's it called, research in real time.
Okay, well, Ex Machina was distributed by A24. I like that movie a lot. I don't think it was. I don't think it was pretentious. Maybe. So Ex Machina. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. I think I've got the disc though. What is that?
You never saw that, really?
I think I've got the Blu-ray just in one of the infamous Blu-ray piles. But yeah, well, is that something to do with robotics?
Yeah, it's been a while since I saw it. But it was like, I'll read the. It's about a. I'm kind of reading the profile of it because it's been a while since I saw it, but it's about a like a. I don't know if he was the owner of the company. I think it was the owner of the company. And what did they do? They were like an internet. Fuck, man, I'm butchering this.
Yeah, maybe just pull up the synopsis and read it off the internet.
Yeah, I am right now. Yeah. So this programmer guy who works at a dominant search engine company wins a contest for a 1-week visit to a luxurious, isolated home of the CEO. And I'm trying to. I guess the CEO didn't work. That's what I was wondering. Is the CEO that he went to, was he from a different? I think he was from a different company, but I don't know. I don't know if it was for his company. I don't know. But anyway, this guy that's the CEO that has all this money, who lives in this, who's in this isolated home in the woods, very luxurious, has a robotic looking. Has a robot that looks like a human who does everything.
Who services him? Okay, I gotta see this.
Yeah, it actually does a little of that too.
Oh my god!
So this programmer wins, and he's a week with this guy and this robot, and I mean it's a suspenseful movie, a little bit of a thriller, I would say, at least towards the end. Yeah, it's a suspenseful kind of thrillerish movie, I guess you could categorize it. It's good. It's kind of regarding the topic of artificial intelligence, but there's this guy has these servant robots, and I can't really say anything else without giving it away. But yeah, it was well done. Like, I really liked it. I think I highly suggest putting that Blu-ray and watching it.
The Blu-ray,
it's a good sci-fi movie.
The Blu-ray that I already own. Okay.
Yeah, man, I would like to see your that. I would definitely like to hear your thoughts on it, because I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, I might have to pull it off the pile then. It looks like Larkius definitely must be a wrestling fan. He says Randy Orton injured, and I searched Randy Orton, and he's a wrestler, so it's possible that the wrestler Randy Orton is injured. Well, damn it. That sucks. Did he go to Six Flags?
Yeah, did he ride El Toro or any of the other?
He rode Superman and
can't breathe. He had to ride it in the back though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he went. This guy Randy Orton may have to go under. Oh my God, he might have to go undergo back surgery.
Oh man, at least you don't have to do that after Six Flags.
Yeah, I'd imagine getting thrown.
by really big guys, even though it's not real, but they're still getting messed up. They're still feeling a lot of that stuff. Yeah, they're getting thrown around and stuff. Imagine it's like I can see how your back would get messed up.
Oh, here you go. This is movie related. Larkius says Ryan Gosling looks weird as Ken in the upcoming Barbie film.
Let me see that upcoming Barbie.
Yeah, I think Matt will agree. Yeah. That's some recent news that just came down the pike. I'm not going to show it on the screen because it is. I agree. It's just a little.
Huh. Now, what do you think? What do you think they're going to throw into this movie? Hopefully, to be progressive. I mean, this is kind of looking a little bit,
Yeah, that's a good that's a good question. Like, what the hell do you make this movie about? I'm sure it's just going to be, it's a really good question.
When's it come out? Or is it, they haven't even started. Oh, okay, it comes out next year, July. Wow, that's a Ryan Gosling as Ken. Oh God. Oh man. What is this gonna be about? Like, is this gonna be like a serious film? Like, I don't even know, a Barbie movie? Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess it would be along the lines of Lego Movie, I would imagine. I wonder what the rating, if it's going to be PG,
rated R.
What?
I'm joking. I said rated R for sure.
Oh, okay.
That would be funny though if it was. Like, just gotcha. It's going to be like a mild porno. No, I don't. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
now, didn't they back in the day, or I don't know when, didn't they used to have like theaters play like porn? Like people could go watch a porno movie?
Yeah, so before the internet, in the 70s, like if you see the movie Taxi Driver, for example, that is documented in that film, yeah. People before home video, and needless to say, before internet, they used to go to a public theater and take care of business in the theater with everyone else around them.
That's like I've been to one strip club in my life, and I found it just so weird. Not like the girls seem, I just there's just a bunch of guys around you just looking at this great girl dance. It just was weird. And she's just dancing, getting naked, like, and it was still just so awkward. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, I honestly, I've never been to one because the idea never interested me. Like, I want to go.
I got dragged into it. I didn't even want to go. I mean, my buddy at the time he liked going to them, and I was like, I don't really want to go. He's like, come on, just go. I was like, all right, and I just went because, like, you know what, I've never been to one. I'll just go. And no, I never went back. But my point was, that was weird enough. That was fucking weird enough, But the idea of, like, dude, going to a theater, like, watching an actual sex porno, well, like, with other people, like, in the theater, like, that is, what? You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe, like, that was the thing. My mind is blown.
Yeah, and if you watch the movie from the early 80s by the name of The Howling, that movie features, like, there's like this adult bookstore or something like that in the back. There's, like, booths, like little booths where you sit in there and, like, put a quarter in, and, like, a porno movie will start. So that's a little more private anyway.
Yeah, because even like you said, didn't your video store, like, at least isn't the pornos, like, in their own separate room?
Well,
usually,
yeah, right. The porn is in a separate porn room. It's just not out on the floor next to the kids' films.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not a good comparison because going to a porno would be a private room, but I mean, you're all watching. I mean, that's just. And why would you sit, like? did these people like? Did they do stuff to themselves in the theater watching this? I mean, what the hell?
Well, we can assume so. Oh my God! You know what's so funny? I don't know if I've told you this. Tell me if I've told you this, but it was so ironic at that mom and pop video store I used to work at. Obviously, well, it's not obvious, but you know, the majority of the business we did, unfortunately, was the porn video, you know, sales and rentals. And it's so funny because during one summer, there was a period where there was a leak in the roof, and of course, the leak had to be, you know, dripping into the into the adult room. So guess what we did? We put a little ice cream pail in the adult room on the floor to catch the leak, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Out of all places in this whole store, the last place you want a bucket on the floor is in the adult room. So that actually that made me very uncomfortable. I don't think we ever had to. I never really looked in it, so I hope all that was in there was water from the roof. But yeah, it just was sending the wrong message, I think.
Oh my God! Was there oh God? There wasn't like a lock. There wasn't. Was there like a door to get in? Was that a curtain?
Well, all you got to do is watch the first half of my movie. There's a couple of those like mini Western style bar swinging doors.
Could you lock it?
No, you can't lock those little mini Western style bar doors. Even if you did, you just crawl under them. Well, you can't. Would be you can't lock people out of the main room people come to go into. I mean, we would have went out of business even sooner.
No, I'm just thinking of like a funny movie in a scene would be really funny if like kind of like if it was like a Clerks type movie, like say like just you talking about working at that movie at that rental place. And, like, it would be funny if you made, like, I think I did tell you how funny it would have been if you would have made, like, a Clerk-style movie when you worked there.
Yeah.
I think a funny scene would have been, like, you guys having, like you said, put the bucket in the porno thing, and then some creepy guy comes back there, and then you walk back there or something, and this guy's going at it.
Oh, no.
I think that'd be funny to see in a movie if you did that right.
Yeah, you'd have to do it right though. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to be done right. Yeah, but I think it would be really funny if it was like again, you didn't like hint at it, like you didn't make any focal point of talking about the bucket too much. You just kind of like maybe while working one day, oh, we got a roof leak, and you didn't even talk about the bucket. You just someone just put a bucket there. But you had like another scene going, but like you made it show that like someone did put a bucket there, you know, and then like 30 minutes later when people kind of forget about the bucket or didn't even think about I think that'd be funny, and do it like just out of nowhere, like, oh, I just, go in. I don't know. I think it'd be funny if it was done that way. Just the element of surprise,
Yeah, might have been a good thing to do when I worked there, when Bucket was in there, is when everyone who walks in. Of course, you can't assume everyone's going back there, but pretty much anyone is. But any guy who enters the store, you know where he's going. But yeah, when he enters, you could go, okay, so we've got a leak in the roof, so the bucket's back there only for the leak. Okay, have fun. Have fun. Oh, God.
So, back to the porno in the movie theater. People don't watch a whole porno to not relieve themselves. Isn't that why people watch porno, I thought? I mean, I'm just like, how, people just went, I mean, I feel like I gotta Google it now. I just can't, because on one hand, I'm like, they would allow that in a theater, and then people would do it around other people. Like, it just seems so fucking bizarre.
Well, have you seen Taxi Driver?
I haven't seen the whole thing, so no, I didn't see that.
I mean, if you watch that, I mean, you can just see the depravity of basically the whole city at that time. I mean, so pretty much anything went, it looked like.
Well, we're not far off from that, if not worse than that. That might even be a little bit tame compared to what the shit we'll see. But
that's true.
oh god,
That's true. In the meantime, Larkius says Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning reunite for the Equalizer. He put 3E. I don't know if he meant to put the.
do you have a bot in your chat? Just like see that you're huge movie fanatics and just puts like factual.
Yeah, I mean it's perfectly possible, either that or it's not beyond the realm of possibility. There's some guy that just recently showed up, and he on some of the recent videos he leaves these extremely long comments that I don't even read, and it's possible.
Could be there's a lot of bots on the internet. And every time you say that, like when it's not a real bot, like you're like, oh, don't get offended. Like, I think I'm a bot. I don't know why anyone would be offended by that, because there's so many bots spamming shit on the internet that it's just like, even if you remotely sound like you could do something like bot-like, then people are going to assume, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I just give people the benefit of the doubt. Even if it is a bot, it's some movie-related information for this movie channel.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Right, exactly. Doing the job for you. That's what robots are supposed to do, right?
That's what the robots are for. Okay, everyone, about 2 hours into the show, and we'll be heading out in about an hour, so I don't know why I said everyone, but I guess maybe I'm talking to future listeners.
I'm trying to read a response to what happens inside of an adult movie theater.
Yeah, what happens inside of an adult movie theater? There's a good question.
Yep, it does happen. People are talking, responding. Older guys that have worked. Like, yep, it did happen a lot.
a lot, yeah. Imagine being an usher and having to clean up. Oh, Jesus.
I'm reading. These are. Oh my god.
Yeah, I appreciate reading them.
There's probably some. Yeah, there's probably some. I can imagine that's probably one guy you'd want to talk to about his job experience. Like they probably have some of the funniest stories, or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. I mean, yeah.
Anyway, I mean it was probably awkward enough having that adult section. Were any guys were there guys that would come in that would be they didn't feel any shame about it? They talked about it. Like, did you ever get guys like that?
No, it was kind of the cliched, just, quiet and I want to get in and get out of here kind of a thing that you see in maybe movies or whatever. I mean, it's not like there's any guys that, I can't even remember, honestly. Maybe I don't think anyone ever asked, like, oh, have you seen this one? Is she as good as she looks on the cover? I mean, I don't think I ever got any of that.
Now, I'm sure it's happened at least once. How many times did a woman go back there?
Yeah, that's a good question. This is like frickin' 10 years ago now, so I would imagine it happened. Not very often, though.
No, yeah.
Oh, you know what? You know what did go back there is this guy who looked like he was fully like, he looked like some kind of a monk or something, and he's fully in his like religious robe and like cross hanging around his neck. I don't, so it's like some guy came from the whatever it is, monastery, or is that for nuns? I don't know, but he came from some. I don't know. He came from some religious building and right
ceremony.
Right into the adult room. Yeah, I mean he was just head to toe, just kind of like that, religious garb, like like the big cloak. I can't even describe it. The flowing kind of cloak thing, or not a cloak, but
it's actually funny hearing you try to describe this. His wizard suit, right?
Yeah, the wizard suit.
Oh man, was he awkward about it? Or he...
No, I mean he was, he acted as if he was just renting anything,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ Superstar. I mean he.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh man, that's crazy. It's just a bunch of. Oh man. Now, was it mainly just middle-aged guys getting it? Probably demographics, or sometimes you get the 18-year-old kid show up.
Yeah, I don't think it was really anyone ever that young. So probably 30s maybe and up or something.
Oh man, God, those are the days, right? Like, not days, but like, I mean, just now people can do it. All of that from the privacy of their home, like even get it. Obviously, 'cause it's just everywhere.
Well,
but it's just so weird back then. You had to go in public to get it, and the people had to see you. You had to like talk this. Oh man.
Yeah, but I mentioned this in the past. Like, I mean, even back then, though, it was very much available online. So I don't understand unless these people want to see something. I mean, granted, it might have been more along the lines of clips or something like that. We talked about this before. Maybe these people want to see the whole feature from beginning to end, so they don't miss out on the story, I guess. But I mean, even back when I was renting and selling this stuff out of the video store, I mean, you could get a lot of stuff for free online.
Yep.
I didn't tell them that though. Job security.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Isn't another thing like you want to talk about an industry where you can get probably is at least for men, getting men to do it. Is porn the easiest industry to get men actors that you don't even have to pay showing up to the job? Like, is there any other acting gig that like you'd have like how many fucking guys like doing it for free? Like, I can't think of anything else that like you'd have like that many guys being like hitting you up like, oh yeah, I'll star in it,
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, it's just like never any shortage of straight men needed for adult film work.
Hell, if anything, you can charge them to show up to your movie.
Yeah, you can.
You still wouldn't have a shortage. Like we're gonna put you on camera. Yeah, I don't care. But you can. I don't know. But then again, that might be illegal because you'd be like, well, that was prostitution because you charged it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how they have that all figured out, but they definitely do have it figured out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But at the very least, you don't have to pay them. Plenty of guys that won't get paid and show up to do that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Oh man, just the ins and outs of that industry. Oh.
Yeah, nice description. The ins and outs of the adult film business.
That's good. You gotta get a good. Yeah.
You're the one who said it.
Well, I didn't. I actually wasn't trying to. When I said it, I wasn't even thinking. Actually, I literally just said ins and outs because that's like the common phrase. But yeah, I guess it was a sexual innuendo. I literally wasn't trying to make it though. But yeah, that's good.
That is good. Yeah.
It's just, oh man. No, it's just so crazy to me to think like back in the day, guys would have to go to a fucking theater. And then before your time, like, before the internet, like, these guys would always have to go somewhere in public to get it, I guess you could get it mailed to your house, to be fair.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, there were magazines for, since whatever, the 40s.
Yeah, well, so you could always get the tape mailed. But I guess it's not the same as being able to go in and have, like, all this selection to choose from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
get it that day,
You said get the tape mailed. I mean, VHS was only, was only like the 80s and beyond. Like, what do people do? Yeah, if people wanted to see something move, the moans and something, the sounds and the image move and stuff, they got to go to one of them, adult theaters. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man.
It's hard for Matt to even imagine a world before home video.
Can you imagine that?
No, because
No.
there was always home video in my life. So
When I was same.
whatever, the Lord.
Now we're so used to how men are with now basically unlimited access to this type of shit, and obviously some countries they ban this stuff. So I guess you could just go to these countries and see for yourself. But I mean, there are how many? I don't know. Quite a few countries in this world that I don't know about quite a few, but there's a couple at least that have banned porn and all this stuff. Though I would imagine there's still an underground. I mean, I'd imagine it's with the rate of the internet now. Like I'd imagine these guys still get it, you know. But let's just take it all the way back before you even had cameras and stuff, you know. Or at least video cameras. But even then, even cameras. Like, what about the time when there was no cameras? These guys I guess they had a wife. I guess they just didn't care. You know what I mean? But I mean, obviously, they probably still were interested in other women. But like, there was never a way for them to satisfy that urge to see them. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you'd have
Unless they actually showed it.
You know, back then, people, you know, they must not have been a shortage of good imaginations.
Yeah. I mean, interesting study. Like, was people's imaginations better because they, at least, you know, just because they had to. I don't know. I you know, your imagination's always. If you got an imagination, you just got to use it for other stuff. You know what I mean? If you can't, you know what I mean. So I personally don't think that's the case, but yeah.
I actually had a customer, you know, like a guy customer that said that. Like he was one of the rare guys that never went back there, but he commented on it. He's like, "Yeah, I don't gotta go back there. I got an imagination." I'm like, "All right."
All right, there you go, man. Oh man, that's funny. You still there? To my internet cut off?
Yeah, your internet's dead.
Hello?
Yeah, your internet's dead. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You're messing with me, I know.
I can hear you. You know what's really creepy is that during my you know years at that video store where it was primarily adult, you know, sales and rentals, we had some like younger female employees come and go. That's probably the wrong description, but you know, who worked there for a while, and God, I felt bad for them because Jesus.
Were they minors?
Well, no, they couldn't be minors, but I mean, still, I mean, I think I can't remember the ages, but I mean, we're talking, you know,
18, 19, 20.
Maybe early 20s and stuff. I just felt so bad. Like I felt awkward as a guy working there selling and renting this stuff. Imagine what the girls felt like. Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe in a way they didn't feel. I mean, it's tough to say. Did you ever ask them, like, hey, it's kind of weird selling to these guys? Or that topic never came up?
Well, no, I thought it might be equally as weird me asking. So, I mean, I think that we know the answer. I mean, it's weird for me. It's going to be weird for them, but oh well.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, obviously, women, men, you know. Well, we can't get into that topic because we got to, you know, we have a lot of genders and stuff, so we can't. But anyway, assuming, you know, you're a bigot, you know, and you think.
Well, yeah, you can't just talk about women and men. You're excluding everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. But if you were say the roles were reversed, say you were 20 years old, 19, and like the world was inverted, and like middle-aged women were the ones consuming most of the porn, right? Like it was like that was. So like, what if you were working there as a 19-year-old and like a bunch of middle-aged women? That was like mainly who you sold all the DVDs, the movies to. Like, how would you feel?
Well, yeah,
that was awkward, or would it be less awkward?
That's a good question. I mean, you know, just because a woman's middle aged doesn't mean she's, I guess it would depend. Yes, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question.
I guess. I guess my point is it more awkward because they're the same gender as you, or
Same.
would it be less awkward? What?
Same sex.
Same sex, yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, say if you imagine it was the roles reversed, if it was middle-aged women that were, you were renting these movies out to, would you care as much?
I guess. Awkward? Yeah, I guess my answer is it's kind of the same.
Or would you feel like a stud? You'd feel like a stud. You'd be like, yeah, here you go. Here's your movie. Have fun tonight, lady.
Yeah, I guess it. My answer is kind of the same because it's whether it's men or women customers, it's customers that are there for sexual entertainment. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really change the awkwardness, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know what they're doing that night. It's like, oh, God.
Oh, you know what I
mean? Like,
you know what's really funny is when a guy would rent a video and then like 2 or 3 hours later bring it back and slip it in the old slot. And,
no!
And it's like...
Oh, no, they would do that?
Yeah.
No, they would do that. They would do that.
And
they would... How often would that happen? That is... Oh, God. How often would that happen? They would return it like after they watched it? How often
on the same shift. It was probably, I don't know. It probably, I mean, maybe not that often, but it obviously happened, yeah.
And they weren't, obviously I would imagine those guys, because if they cared, they would at least return it the next day. But they clearly felt no shame. Because you knew exactly what they just did.
Well, come to think about it, with any luck, maybe they just copied it. We can hope that they just copied it.
Yeah, right. But again, it's like, why would oh man, you think it would return at least the next day just to not, because it's like they're gonna hand that back to you. Like. You ever think about oh God, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh. Like, you ever grabbed the tape and were like, I don't even want to know.
Yeah, probably.
I know, I'm making you think about it, like, oh God. Oh God. Now, oh man, that is just, wow.
Yeah, this is an interesting show.
That's funny. That's funny, though. Isn't that fucked up? You're like this young guy. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna be renting out all these cool movies, and it's gonna be really fun. And then like 90% of your business is like middle-aged guys renting fucking pornos.
Yeah, I don't remember if the manager, owner/manager warned me in advance. I don't remember. I mean, I because I guess I was naive. I guess I didn't picture that the majority of the business would be adult, because it wasn't like that at movie gallery. It was the opposite. So yeah,
they got to go to the independent to get the adult one.
Yeah, I don't imagine the owner.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Next question. Are you still there? Or you cut out?
Yeah, your internet's disconnected.
Oh man. Let me ask you this. Did any kids try to sneak in there while you were working there? Did any kids try to sneak in? Or teenagers or whatever?
Nothing that nothing that comes to mind, but that doesn't mean it. Yeah, come to think of it.
You didn't notice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they tried to go on, because what was stupid about those, you can see it in the first half of my film, but the stupid thing about them like swinging cowboy bar doors is, I mean, it seemed like they were really high up, so I mean, a kid could just walk right under them. That's another thing. You could kind of see some of the boxes like from outside of the adult room. You could see them. So I made I know, and some of them, were really nasty covers. So I made a point to kind of any shelf space you could see from outside of the room, I kind of put some of the less racy covers there because otherwise.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh, my internet cut out again.
No, I'm just resting my voice.
Oh wow. That is interesting.
But
what besides now, oh man, I'm trying to think of other awkward stores. I guess a sex store. I guess if you worked at a sex store, I guess it wouldn't be as awkward because that's literally what the what the place was.
Yeah, that's what the place is.
Like whatever that sells sex store.
Yeah, that's what the place is for. So it probably wouldn't be as bad.
Can you imagine that? Like, what if you got hired as a job as, like, would you take that job if paid okay? Like, they're like, you want to work at a sex store?
No, I don't think I'd work at a sex store.
Yeah, I'm just like, just if you're an employee, like, oh man, because you got to talk to strangers about these, like, what? I don't know. I just, to me, it's just so crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be some kind of whatever. Sex.
I feel like you got to be kind of a little bit pervy.
Yeah,
like,
sex enthusiast or, yeah.
Ugh. But I guess some people aren't as private about it. Like you and me are talking, but some people they're more about the public case of that stuff. So they're kind of catering to those type of people too, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
What's another awkward industry to work in? Would you say, or job, like not relating to the sex crap, but like maybe another industry that's kind of awkward.
Yeah, I don't know if
for other reasons.
I don't know if anything comes to mind. Does anything come to your mind?
I don't know. I'm sure after I get off, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that."
I'm sure you will.
God damn it.
Maybe it wouldn't be so great being a shoe salesman, having to, look at everyone's naked,
Yeah, the feet smell too.
Yeah, the dealing with people's feet all day. But I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if it's awkward, but kind of a shitty job, in my opinion, is being like a dentist.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think that would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of dentists are depressed, so.
Ugh. Can you imagine that? Like every day you're like just doing that, like just drilling into people's teeth or scrape it. I don't even know what they do these days.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess for what it's worth, I mean, I guess I guess the quote unquote financial benefits of being a dentist maybe help, but I mean, yeah, from what I hear, dentists are.
You know, it's kind of like, not like in a sexual way, obviously, kind of an intimate job if you think about it, like in terms of like touch and feel. Like again, not sexual. I guess some people take it sexually. Again, but like people that cut hair for a living, or like because it's a pretty. I mean, one, you're trusting someone to cut your hair, right? So on your part, you have to really trust them to not fuck it up and stuff. And then, they're touching your head. They're really close to you the whole time. That's a pretty like intimate job in a way,
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes, yeah, they got to be real close and get real close. That's true. I've thought about that back when I used to get my hair cut.
And I feel like for some people, just because of the nature of like they're touching your head, they're you get like all this whole thing. They're really close. Do you think that lets some people open up more? Because you usually talk and you chit chat. Do you think? I always wonder. I'm like, because even sometimes, I mean, I cut my own hair now, but
in some ways, it's like if they're nice, it's like it feels easier to open up because it's like they're literally touching you. Like I take that out of context. They're literally touching you, but you know what I mean? Like there's like a bond there, like human touch, hugging, shaking hands. That's why you shake hands technically, because you want some type of like bond being formed physically.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel that way? Like it was easier to open up almost. Like, well, they're like, I trust them to cut my hair. They've cut my hair before already. And it's always like super, like, I mean, I feel like most people could test this. They don't like going to another hair cutter. It's always like, oh man, I go to the one I go to because I trust them and I've bonded with them in a way because they cut my hair good and we talk and I don't know.
Yeah, that might be a good point. I can't say if I don't know if I ever necessarily felt like that. I kind of always just want to get it done and get out of there. But I mean, I can see that.
Do you ever talk? You never would talk to them about stuff, or you would just be quiet. I haven't gotten a haircut in so long, but I used to always usually talk. I don't know. I found myself just talking passing time.
Well, most of the places the places I went, it seemed like they pretty much did the talking. So. But
yeah, that's true too. But you would talk back, right? Have a dialogue, or you would just kind of cut it short, like, yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I wasn't just silent man, but I mean, I talked if I had to. I mean, I mean, I'm there to get my hair cut. I mean, I don't.
I understand. I hear you. Like you're there to get a haircut, but it's one of those things where it's like you're there, and then I guess in a way, I'm trying to think. Like, yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just something. Every time you go, it's like I mean, have you noticed? It seems like it's been years for me, so I'm a little fuzzy. But every time you go, like, aren't people usually chatting up a storm to the person cutting their hair?
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. It's really never.
Yeah.
It's never,
and it seems like they're very open, like way more open than you'd ever see most of these people when they're talking to their hairdresser, or hair guy. There's like plenty of guys cut my hair, and I've had good conversations with them. It's not like a lot of women cut hair, but it's like there's still been guys that worked at these places that cut my hair too.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you.
Because you're allowing this person to cut your hair, touch your head. You're like, and sometimes it feels good, like you're almost getting like a massage,
Yeah, that's true.
That's why you pat a dog's head, it feels good. But people just start doing that, petting other people's heads. Like, yeah, you're a nice person, aren't you? I don't know. I don't know. It's probably different for a dog, but I don't know. I don't know how ours, I don't know. But yeah. Another thing I would say, since I would say that hair people that cut hair and do hair and whatever, all that stuff. I guess because it's not just cutting hair; they style it, they do all sorts of other stuff too. Dye it. I would say that those people are probably more of a therapist than actual therapist for people. Like if you think about it, like how many people actually go to therapy? Like and like is the therapist like cutting your hair and getting that close to you, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it depends what kind of therapist you're going to, but yeah, so you're saying like maybe a barber who you're not going there to specifically to talk to. Maybe you talk to. You open up more,
being more of a therapist.
You open up
actual therapist in a way.
You open up more with the barber than the therapist possibly.
Yeah, your actual therapist. Yeah, I think so. It seems that way. Not just by me, but what I see. It seems like people really open up to their barber, their whatever.
Well, it's very.
And have you also? I've also noticed that people that like their barber or hairstylist or whatever, they seem you can almost hear. At least I hear it. I don't know if I'm wrong, but it seems like you could tell there's like a bond there. It's like, yeah, my barber, I love that guy. Yeah, man, that guy does great job. Yeah, it's like there's like you don't quite get that as much with other industries. It's like the way they talk about their hairdresser.
Yeah, you might be onto something there. It's probably something to do with that close physical contact.
Yeah.
because you kind of need it, like in a way. Like, I mean, even men, like men will shake hands. Or even when you're working with a guy, you're doing things and you're close. Maybe not always, like I said, you're not always like grabbing a guy, like, but like you're working close with him. You know, like there's, like in the sense that I don't know, like for a bond to form, there has to be like close. I don't know. This is probably a whole topic in itself about bond forming, but obviously one of the major ways is through human touch. You know.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then obviously the trust factor, like I said, the huge trust thing. You're gonna cut my hair. Like you fuck up this haircut, I'm fucked for like a month. You know, until it grows back. Like it's like a lot of people that has a lot of anxiety. They really like their hair, and it's like if you know. So there's a lot of factors into growing that bond and trust that you don't get in another industry. You know.
That's true. So that anxiety regarding your haircut, is that something you've experienced?
Oh, yeah, because I've had bad haircuts. Yeah, I feel like everyone has. Like, you get a shitty haircut, you're like, fuck! And then you get a shitty haircut, you're like, I'm never fucking going back there again. Fuck! Like, you really mad. It's just like, dude, you spent like $20 on it. Who cares? But it's like, yeah, especially when you're young, like, my hair, oh my God, what the fuck, you know? So... yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, my haircut's the difference between getting lucky or not.
Yeah, there you go. At least for guys. I mean, I guess women, I don't know, they care about, you know, but like, yeah, people really care about their hair. So, what?
Way to go, people.
Maybe, I wonder, like, now I'm thinking about, do people probably bond with their personal trainers, too, I'd imagine. You know?
It's very, very possible.
I don't know. I was just interesting because you were talking about all that stuff. And I don't know.
Yeah, what the hell were
jobs. And I would think that, like, I don't know, awkward. Well, I asked you what's awkward, and I was like, well, it's not awkward cutting a hair, but and then I thought, like, it's not awkward. I mean, that's the thing. It can be awkward if you're not. That's the thing. What if you're getting a haircut from someone you don't like? Like, you'd be like, I don't want them to cut my hair. I don't want them to touch my fucking hair. Even if they were going to cut it right, like, do you want someone that you don't like that close to you for, like, 20 minutes or 10 minutes cutting your hair? I don't. You know?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I went to a place that I didn't really like the guy for quite a while, just because for me, it's kind of like you talked about before. I mean, I go there for the haircut, so I mean, if the haircut is more or less successful every time, I'd keep going back, even though I didn't necessarily like the guy. So it's just, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you're going there for the haircut, so you want a good haircut. But if you could pick and choose, you probably don't want to be the guy or girl that you don't like. I don't know. It's just me.
I hear you.
I don't know. Yeah. So, anything else new with Nate? Or?
No, not too terribly, amazingly much is new.
How's the summer going so far? Now that the weather has finally cooperated.
Well, it's definitely nice that it's frickin' finally warm. I mean, it sure is nice not having to run the furnace and put on, layer after layer to go the hell outside.
Yeah.
You
probably did not like that.
Definitely be nice to live in a climate where it's, 70s every day.
That's like, 60s, 70s seems to be. Well, we said, what's the standard thermostat set to? It's like 70 degrees or something, 71.
Yeah,
I know there's like an optimal temperature for most people.
I'm the wrong person to ask
I think
about.
It's like 70.
Maybe
but yeah, even in the 60s. But
I was gonna say maybe it's a good question for the internet.
Well, I was going to say, I think it depends on what you're actually doing. I think if you're just sitting in a chair, like on the computer or TV, I think it's going to be like probably 70
71 for most people. Like you could sit in a 70-degree room and like you'd be fine. You're good. Like it's optimal. You're never gonna feel, any sweat, any too cold. It's just like that's like seems to be perfect. Whatever it is, it's 70, 71, 69. Maybe it's different by like a degree or whatever. But depends on what you're doing. But if you're actually like working on something a little bit, but you're not working up a sweat, you might want like 65. Because now you're moving, you're generating some heat. So it's like it definitely fluctuates a little bit. Like if I'm working on my car or something, or anything outside, or I don't want to. 70 is fine, but I would prefer it to be a little colder than 70. Because by the time you start really working on something, you're gonna get warmed up. So 70 is still good. I'm not sitting there bitching about 70-degree weather, but I think like 60 degrees is more ideal, or even sometimes colder, depending on how hard you're working. So.
Yeah, it's definitely...
Yeah, there's a lot of factors.
A lot of factors and a lot of variables. What the hell was that word that was... Yeah. I can't remember that word you were saying that other week that was funny. Damn it. I'll probably think of it. It was... parameters.
What was it regards to?
Yeah.
Parameters, yes.
I was having...
setting the parameter for the variable.
I was having fun...
What?
I was having fun listening to you say parameters on one of the previous weeks.
Yeah, what are the parameters that you operate in, sir? Well, we know what most people's parameters are, whatever the TV says, which is mine too. Whatever the TV tells me, that's my parameters of thought, I don't deviate outside of what my television tells me. So.
Well, that's good. That's what any I can't think of the term.
Yeah.
Decent person would do.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't.
Those are the parameters, and anything outside of that, no go, error. It throws an error code. It's like computer crash. Sorry.
Oh.
Nope. I could be wrong. I don't think anyone here is a computer programmer, but I think I guess it's not always the case, but I think that even in like computer programming, that's the kind of stuff that would throw an error. Like you didn't define the parameter for this variable. You know what I mean? Like you go outside of what you defined, what you wanted these variables in the program or memory, whatever, to do. I don't know if it always causes like an error, but I think I have no idea. I could be totally off base with this, but I think it probably depends on the programming and the line. But I think on the very basic level, maybe not the programming language, because there's like multiple programming languages and all that shit. I'm talking about like the actual nitty gritty. I don't know. I don't know though. I could be wrong though. I could be saying that like, oh, totally wrong. Because I don't know enough about it, but I don't know. It definitely causes problems, but I don't know. It definitely causes problems with people, though. I'll say that. Some people, the people that, like people like me, causes a problem with me. Me. If someone tells me something that my TV says is not true, I have like an error in my brain. Just crash, error, blue screen to death,
Yep.
It doesn't work,
Parameters down.
Or on the flips, or it's like my brain goes, nope. Just that information, it just deletes it, like auto delete. It's like, nope. We don't. We it's beyond our parameter. Not letting it in. Nope. I can't compute that information. Sorry, my dude. It's beyond the parameter that a TV box set for me, which is good because they're good people, and this is what you're trying to do is bad. That's misinformation.
There you go.
I'm going on a tangent. That's like, yeah. It's an interesting topic,
That's
how people's minds work.
That's for darn sure.
Or how, in some cases, they don't work. But since I'm outside the parameter of the set value of our dear leaders,
gives you problems. You run into problems, as you should. Because you're like because it's just you're not good. Yeah, it's not good. You're like one of those, crazy people. Ooh,
Yeah, well, honestly, you mind if I head on out? If I go now, I got a little more time to get ready before I got to do what I got to do. If that's cool.
It's fine with me. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's fine with me. That's fine. Yeah, you got a life to live for sure. Sure.
I got a life to live.
For now, within these defined parameters, don't you forget, those parameters are going to narrow and narrow. They're going to become less and less. So, yep, it's shrinking. It's shrinking. Shrinking parameters. Remember that. Shrinking. Smaller. Less. Less is good. Less is more. Okay? Repeat that to yourself every day. Less is more. I need less. Less house, less space, less food, less happiness, less everything.
All right. That sounds good to me.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you next time.
Later.
Bye. All right, everyone. No one necessarily here now. That'll do it for this week's show, which wasn't going to happen originally because I had plans to get outside and the weather kind of screwed up them plans. So I did a whatchamacallit spontaneous show, and just because. So now I gotta go get ready for other stuff. So thank you very much. Not a whole lot of people participated in chat, but that's okay. Thank you very much for showing up. Thank you very much for listening after the fact, as I would expect. That's what most people will do. Thank you. Catch you next